All right, welcome everybody. This is the fourth edition of Palette'21, and we're glad to have you back. So, this is round three. We are very glad to finally chop down to the top 16 themes of Palette'21. And right now, we have our two judges with us, Mr. Salman Amir from IBM and Ms. Varinishta Yadav from Microsoft. We are very glad to have them with us today and also have them judge our round three of Palette'21. We hope you like the top 16 teams and we hope you make the best decisions today. So, a few rules before the participants come on stage. Every team will be given exactly 5 minutes to do your presentation. You can round up exactly all of your prototypes and everything you need to do for your round three presentation within the 5 minutes. Please do not cross the time limit. And judges, you guys will be having the next 5 minutes to ask any questions or any doubts or any clarity regarding the project and regarding their presentation. So that's it for us. So let's start with round three. Is everybody ready? Mr. Sir, Salman, sir, and ma'am, are you ready?
Let's do
Let's
this.
start. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
So our first team that we have is Design Buddies. Please join the stage. They will be joining soon. So we'll just all right.
Hello.
Hello, Design Buddies. Are both of you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So we're gonna start with your presentation, and you'll be having exactly 5 minutes. So go
Sure.
ahead. Your time starts now.
Okay, so I'll just share the screen and then you can start. Okay. So the topic that was given to us was making a Mac OS application for astrologers, music streaming application. So that was our problem statement. So to design Mac app for music streaming to help astrologers. And from research, we thought what would astrologer would like to listen. So we thought it would be a peaceful music, devotional, soulful, divine, binaural beats, meditation, because these are all the genres or type of music that an astrologer would like to listen on daily basis, considering the scope of work that he is into. And other things that they would like is live music, radio, and podcast. And the age group, because he's an astrologer, he would have got an immense study in that region. So we thought the age group will be 25 years and above for a person. And the expectations for an astrologer on the music app would be ease of use and simplicity, and also getting variety of collection. So coming to that, we then, with all these ideas, we build up the wireframes. So this is the wireframes that we came up with. I'm just showing 3 screens of the wireframes that we have over here. So, and then let me get into the actual project that we did. So this is how the application would look on Mac OS for us. And let's say I'm signing up for my music application, as it is particularly for astrologers. So we named it as Astro Music. So I sign up for it. And then I'll have to pick my genres, what are the things that I would like to listen to, so that I can build the recommendation engine around it. So I pick those, I go next. And then this is how my home screen is being made. And over here, top artists based on my selections, top collections. Again, I can find other genres over here. And we kept the important play settings and all on right side, because I goes over there for easy to control. People are used mostly right-handed. And going forward, let's say if he's exploring, this is how our explore screen would look. So if he's looking for new music or any kind of featured albums, and then let's say if he has added a couple of musics in his favorites, so my music would look something like this that we have made. And then let's say if he is looking for albums, then we thought this is how our albums page would look. And then if he's looking for various artists, this is how he can find a lot of artists and the musics that the artists have created, or the albums that an artist has created. And coming to live, because it's a streaming app that we were supposed to make. So coming to live, considering it is for astrologers, so we took all the spiritual leaders and that sector related kind of people, because that is what they would be interested to listen to. And this is how they could search or filter all the live that is going on from various keynote speakers in that domain. And then let's say if I click on live, this is how my live stream would look like. And this is the way they can see like, dislike, and suggested lives are shown on the right again. So this is what we have made. And yeah, I think that's the pitch that we have. Open for questions.
Good one. I like I like how you went, step by step.
Thank you.
I like the UI. It's pretty clean, neat. I had one question.
Please
So,
do.
how do you differentiate this app which you just made for, say, me, the astrologer? Why wouldn't I just go to, say, something like Spotify or SoundCloud and just use it? Why should I
Okay.
choose you?
One reason could be because of the recommendation engine that will be particularly built around an astrologer, and the kind of content that he would be looking out is all and all only curated for him. It is not like he will have everything across the globe and then he'll have to look for his own content. So any of the page that he's clicking into over here will all be related to his content. So he doesn't have any kind of clutter of other topics or other contents. Because if he's looking for something else, he can obviously go to YouTube or any other Spotify app. But this was, since the challenge was given that it was particularly for astrologers, I think we just stuck to that.
Got it. Hey folks, good job in creating this, also like explaining. So I enjoyed listening to it. I had just one question, which is more about the sort of visual styling, right? So you showed your low fidelity sort of wireframes and then you went into high fidelity. So I just wanted to know a little bit about your thought process in how you chose the styling for the high fidelity, given that you had a specific user set, let's say astrologers, right? So did that
Correct.
have a role to play? How did you think about it? Yeah.
No, I didn't get you. From the wireframe, you're thinking from the wireframe, how did we come to this thing?
Yeah, the high fidelity, right? So in terms of developing the color scheme, the font scheme, and generally like the styling of this,
Yeah.
did you consider the user set, and basically what was your thinking behind it?
Yeah, so I'll tell you. Basically, astrologers would look for more of meditative music or soulful music or peace-related music. And so basically they would be closing their eyes most of the time if they are listening to such music, or it could be like binaural beats when they are listening at time of sleep. So if we would have gone on white theme, it is a very bright light and it would hit the high. So on purpose we took a darker theme so that the content is clearly visible, and that even if the application is open and if they're closing their eyes, it will not hit them back. If it's a white light, it's going to strain them. And because they're listening to music, these kind of musics are for minimum 30 minutes or an hour long. So we thought going on a darker theme would be easier for them to retain for a longer period of time. So though the low fidelities were made, wireframes were made on the white theme, but actual UI, we thought it's better to go on dark theme.
Got it. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that.
Thank you.
So I think yeah, dark theme is as you explained is the way to go for especially like dark setting and stuff like that. But I'm still like not convinced. Like even Spotify has these algorithms to like if I say I'm an astrologer and I just need to listen to low beats or
See, it's like
I
this.
don't know like beats.
I can
So,
counter
like
back
why
with
would I
saying,
use this?
okay, see, I will not tell that there will be a major sector of audience who would even use this. When I got the challenge, I actually laughed at it. So, because it's very rare that an astrologer would look for a music app as such. Okay, but yeah, it's an hackathon. We had to pick it up. We have to do so. No statistics on that because we tried to Google a lot. We couldn't find any astrological app that is particularly made for music. Also, we couldn't find any. And any music app, I think all of those soulful, binaural, or any devotional or bhajans are all available on any other Ghana or Spotify. So there is no need as such. But since the topic was given, we had to do it. So I will come with that. And coming to your dark theme, since you were not convinced, I will take it in an other angle. Because of streaming, most of the OTT platforms are on dark theme.
No,
OTT
I'm
platforms.
convinced about the dark theme.
Okay, okay. I thought you were
What
not
I
convinced.
was talking about the older question. No. I'm 100%
Oh, yeah,
convinced
yeah.
about that. Yeah.
Okay, agreed. So yeah, basically, yeah, we ourselves were laughing at the topic given, but yeah, because I would, if I am also an astrologer, I would not go for this kind of an app. I would just go for what is available and widely used by
Exactly.
people.
That's why you have to think like, maybe adding music need not just be like, it could be
See, that's what
other
I thought.
senses.
Podcast or radio is something that is just related to them, but again, it's not something as an extraordinary feature that is going to motivate them, because all of it, if I sum up somewhere or the other, everything is available in today's time. Yep.
Thanks.
Any
Sorry,
other
you
question?
have any other question?
No, I think I'm good.
All right, that's great. Thank you, participants. It was a really good presentation. We loved it, and
Very good.
you can
Yeah.
see the reviews that was given, and the points and the notes that were given by the judges. So hope you guys take that and use it in your design journey as well, right? Not just
Surely.
to continue.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Thank you
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you so
All
much.
right.
Yeah.
So now we'll be moving on to
I
the
think
next.
we will just leave.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, judges. All right. So now we move on to the next team, Atarvi Design. So they'll be joining soon, and then we can begin with the presentation. And he's here. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Sadhana.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Could you maybe like increase your
Yeah.
volume a little?
Hello. Am I audible? Hello.
It's just very,
Yeah.
very like.
Yeah, it's a bit
Yeah.
the volume isn't that great though. Let me increase mine.
Hello. Right now,
Yeah.
is it audible?
Yeah, we're able to make out what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And yeah. So hello. My name is Sudan Vacharya, and I'm from team Atharv Design. And then like there is also my one more buddy here. Like his name is Saga Prabhu. And yeah, so the problem statement what was being given to us was like design an iOS app for finding jobs to help out wizards. So like after we got that problem statement, we actually went through a lot of design directions, and then finally we have landed up with this design where we have taken references from like Harry Potter, and then read articles, and yeah. So basically this is the final prototype like that you're looking at. So like this is the splash screen, and then now like once you enter in, there is like sign in with Howl account, and then there is like continue with ISWS number. Now like we have actually tried to keep very specific towards the wizards, and then now this ISWS number is actually like it stands for International Statute of Wizarding Secrecy number, which is actually which more very specific towards wizards only. And then yeah, like it's like a society actually, yeah. And then this is the ISWS number, and then if we click on continue, uh, so before we actually show them, we are like we had planned on them to like answer a couple of few of our onboarding questions. So now let me clear it next. And then this is like initially we are asking them about their blood status, whether they are pure blood, half blood, or whether they are muggles. Now let's say that that guy is pure blood, and then let's continue. And then what type of jobs are they looking for, like witch or wizard or goblin. Now let's click on witch or wizard. And then uh, and then the last question is like, what is your field of interests? Now like I've just selected three of them, that is alchemist, breeder, and then spell inventor. And then yeah, so like this is the job listings whatever we have, which is very specific to the wizards. And then here are all the filters, that is like job type, salary, category, blood type, and all those things. And then here there are, and then amongst all this list we have also like added a few upskilling videos, like to better prepare them for the final interview. Yeah. And then yeah, so now let me click on this metal charmer. Now this is the job description page actually, which shows whether the job is like full time or like freelancing, and then what blood type it is, because wizards are very specific about that blood type. And then this is the amount that is in terms of the wizarding currency, like something like galleons. Yeah, like all these terms we have actually found out through our research. And then yeah, this is about the job description, and then job requirement, start date, and then apply. And then and then like before applying, you can also go through the reviews by the previous employees. And then yeah, and then now we have also like added these upskilling videos. Now in order to increase the engagement rate in our app, we have also thought about a small gamification. That is like, let's say that somebody like saves this job, like so that it means that they are actually delighted with our job postings. And then yeah, so actually through this gamification, like they can earn knowledge hats for like unlocking all those premium upskilling videos. Like all our upskilling videos are actually premium. And then there is also like premium tickets for like unique exclusive wizarding events, that is like Quidditch World Cup. uh, and then yeah, so like if you click on that invite your fellow wizard, you'll get this screen that is like, hooray, you have earned 10 red hats. And yeah, so all those information about the gamification will be on the profile section. Yeah, one second. Yeah. And then now let's click on this job type. Like these are the filters. And then and then and then also the blood type actually, like all these are stacked upon like next to each other, just to show the show the order. And then like if you click on this upskilling video, like there will be like a preview button where you can preview it before you can just unlock with your red hat. And then these are the requirements for to actually unlock that. And then like this is the small description, and then meet your wizard, and then you can directly unlock the video. And then there are also like similar videos next to each other. Yeah. And then there are like some sort of notifications that we have designed. One second. Yeah. like notifications are being categorized into two, that is like job notifications and also like event notifications. And then this is also one event notification, that is like Quidditch, which is actually very much popular in the like in the wizarding world. And then also in the notifications and also within the app, you will like you can find this card where like you can directly watch the Hogwarts Quidditch or whatever. And then yeah, 1 second. And then this is the profile section where just like LinkedIn and then other job posting sites, you can actually add your work experience, education, wizardry certificates, and then field of interest, skills and abilities. All the skills and abilities and all, we are like initially we will just take through like from the onboarding thing. And then so this is the achievements tab where that gamification is being involved. And then these are the hats and tickets. And then these are some of the saved job postings. Yeah. uh,
I'm so sorry to interrupt, but your five
yeah.
minutes are up. So if you want the rest, like 30 seconds to
No,
wrap it up really quick.
no,
Yeah.
like I yeah, that's actually it. Like that's all the design what we have designed. Yeah,
All
that's it.
right. So let's open the grounds up for the judges to question and ask any of your questions.
Yeah,
Go
sure.
ahead.
This is really interesting. And I really like the approach you've taken in terms of defining the parameters of each wizard, right? I just
Yeah.
have you read actually.
Hello. I think I'm sorry to interrupt, but
Hey, sorry, can you hear me?
yeah. Sure, sure.
So have you folks read Harry Potter?
Yeah. Like I didn't read it. We had actually watched the movie. That's it.
The movie.
And then yeah,
Yeah, so I was curious about like one of the filters that you had, right, in the app, which is about are you a pure blood or are you like a semi blood or a muggle, right? Like, do
yeah.
you think that is an appropriate filter in terms of being inclusive for a job? Do you think that that should matter for a job posting?
No, actually, like, why did we take that blood type? Was that because, like, let's say that like, few pure blood wizards do not want to work with muggles, so that like when they see that pure blood indication, actually, like that makes them okay. Like there is no muggles here, so that like actually, like I wanted to just create that distinction between like pure blood and muggle, just because of some of the wizards liking it. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you compare it to like the real world, right? Like imagine applying
Okay.
for a job and then if they're asking you like categorizing you based on you're an Asian, right? Or like you're a black person or a white person. Like
Yeah.
like should the app encourage that distinction? Even though some people might wanna see that like if I'm a pure blood, I might wanna work with pure bloods. But should the app itself encourage that behavior and promote it
Uh,
through the filters?
yeah. Actually, it is bad. Yeah. But yeah, it's true. It's true. Like I do agree with that. It shouldn't actually yeah, encourage. Yeah, true.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. So another thing was in terms of filtering these jobs, right? Like, so you have the job type, you have salary ranges, etc. Right? Do you also feel like the location would possibly matter here or be important, or do you feel like it's wizards, so it doesn't really matter?
uh, Location would matter actually, like Hogwarts. And then like what we thought was like actually like there will be like many this one wizard schools, and then it would be difficult for them to like scroll through all the things. So that that was the decision why we didn't add that this one
Got it. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
filter.
Got it. Last question.
Yeah.
Um, for now, which is I like the detail that you had in the beginning about using a number. So the IWS, I think you were calling it something.
ISWS number.
Yeah, that number to actually get started. But do you think like if you were to actually simplify the workflow of signing up, right? Can you use that number to do that? Like setting up the app, can you use that number? Let's say you had to use that number to reduce the number of steps that are taken to set up the app. Like, can you think of something around those lines?
Yeah, actually, like initially we have given like two options, that is like sign in with owl mail, and and then like sign in with ISWS number. Actually, this sign in with ISWS number is like secondary, secondary thing, and then sign in with owl number is actually the primary, the CTA.
Got it.
Yeah, and
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but do you think like some of like if the ISWS has, let's say, a database of some sort, right? Some of this information that you
Hmm.
subsequently asked in terms of what is your blood type or what is your
Right, right.
profile like, could do you potentially think that some of those things could be automatically selected
No,
based on
actually,
your number?
yeah, yeah. Actually, like all those onboarding questions were like with uh, is like with regards to the like is all those onboarding questions are like with regards to the owl mail this one, and then according to this prototype, it's actually look quite different. But what we thought was like initially like they would sign up with the owl mail, and then the owl mail will not have all these actually all these this one. Yeah, like if they are logging in through the ISWS number, then we could skip that onboarding process, just to smooth out the onboarding. Yeah,
Got it. Okay, nice work. That's all from
yeah.
myself.
Thank you, thank you.
Salman, sir, do you have any questions? We have just last round of questions.
Yeah, first of all, I love what you've done. It's pretty impressive. Like within like 48 hours, even though you're not like a wizard expert, you kind of like researched and came up with
Yeah,
all the terminologies. I love the gamification part and how you want to monetize with the premium content. All that is like
yeah.
brilliant.
Thank you, thank you,
Uh,
thank you, sir.
as Pari said, like onboarding, yeah, it could have been easier, but then I would have expected more wizardry stuff, like I don't know, AR or something, like
Okay.
to
Yeah,
authenticate yourself, like something out of the blue, like which is more,
yeah,
bizarre.
yeah,
That's the bizarre, that's what I like. And
yeah.
other thing was, yeah, yeah, uh, yeah. I guess that's it. Yeah, but great job. I liked it. Like you've thought of
Thank
like
you.
end to end, even though
Yeah,
like it's just like relatable to this day and age. All my comment was like you could have just gone, more, uh,
yeah.
out of the blue. Yeah. Thanks. Great
All
job.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Team Atharva Design. That was awesome. Like, great reminder of Harry Potter again. Glad to have you. You guys can leave.
Thank you.
Uh,
Thank you.
All
nice.
right, so we'll be bringing in
Next,
the next team. The next team, okay, so I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Desiderator.
as
I hope I'm
Desiderator,
pronouncing that right.
please come on
Desiderator.
and
Yeah,
give
all
us
right.
your actual names.
Okay.
And
Hi
I,
guys, I'm Prateek. Yeah.
all
Hi
right.
guys,
Sorry.
I'm Anna. Yeah.
All right,
So
Prateek, Anay, you will be having 5 minutes to do your presentation, and the judges will be having 5 minutes to do their questioning. You have the floor. Get on with it.
thanks. Sounds great. Hello judges. Hello panel. So we we over here in Desiderator are planning to. Okay. So let's start with the problem statement. Our problem statement is to design an iOS app for shopping to help bibliophiles. Bibliophiles. That's an interesting word. So let's research about it. Bibliophiles are those people who love books and love to collect them. So I'll introduce you guys to a promo video which we made. Yeah, in this whole time. Okay, it's a very short video though. You guys can hear the audio, right?
No, can't hear the audio.
Okay. Cool.
Do you have the link to this video in the spreadsheet? Maybe we can just.
Yeah, it's there in the spreadsheet.
Just paste it in the chat. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just paste it in the chat box. I guess till then, okay. Till then, I'll continue the whole flow which we have. Okay. So, what is Sage? A gamification-driven platform that facilitates the needs of all bibliophiles. That's something very complex. Gamification is something which intrigues a lot of people. So there was a lot of research which needs to be done in the whole field because this idea was not to reinvent the whole wheel, but to enhance it in a better manner. So we started with doing a proper competitive analysis with our competitors being Kindle and Audible. So we figured out a lot of research data based on that, did a bit of surveys. We could not get a lot of responses, but here is our like 15 responses which we could derive. And obviously, you might ask me what are the main questions that you asked them. So the first question was what excites them about reading? What is the one thing that matters to them most while buying a book? what do they prefer? Do they prefer paperbacks or audiobooks or ebooks? So these insights provided us to make an app where we focus on hard copies more than ebooks and audiobooks. So let's then we made a complete affinity mapping to understand our three different type of users which existed. One was novice, intermediate, and obviously the collectors who are there on our platform. So let's get down to the visual part. Okay, So we have a 3-step onboarding process, which is very simple. We didn't plan to include the login right now because it's going to be very basic, where you just have to input your phone number, email ID, name, etc. And then over here, we're allowing you to choose a specific topic or your topic of interest so that we could understand you a bit more better. Okay, so this is an animation on an interaction which we have, which would allow us to provide much faster recommendations than the traditional flow, which is to provide you the interest and go search on the web the name of the book, etc., etc. So yeah, I can swipe them. I have a library. So over here, the reason when you swipe right, the projects are bookmarked. They go into your bookmark section. If you swipe left, cancels out. And obviously, the center one is the info button. So if I want to buy a book, let's just say, okay, I go back to the Atomic Habits, which is one of my favorite books. I want to get a paperback. I just go, I'll just select one. Read preview options I have. If I want to buy a book, I'll just go check out the proceed section. Quite great. I love the whole flow. But what makes this app more unique? It's obviously the better interaction which we have, faster recommendation systems, and obviously, who won't like a collectible? Okay, so I'm a huge Marvel fan. So if I want a collectible, I won't find it easily in the marketplace. So what we do is that we provide monthly drops where you'll get exclusive products, be it figurines, be it books, be it magical capes, etc. So this is one of the legendary books which are out there. So over here, you come over here, you see there's a minimum requirement which is called as our bronze readers. So we have a whole gamification system built on that you don't have to pay anything over here. There's no real cash involved in the whole bidding process. Those are virtual coins which are called as Sage coins on our app. And if I want to place a bet, there'll be a betting process on that, a normal process. Okay, so I come to my profile screen. I'll see what my budget is, how much coins am I gaining. You get gems when you invite someone onto the platform. This idea was inspired by Clubhouse because it gives you a sense of essence that, dude, there's something in my wallet. I should probably invest it somewhere. So that is our way of approaching this. I will share a Figma file as of now. I don't think so. We have a lot of time left.
I'm so sorry to interrupt, but you have like 30 seconds to wrap it up.
Sure, right? Not an issue. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So we have multiple batches involved. This would help us not only to give them a personalized experience, but to also provide them with a business model. As Salman sir said in his YouTube live session, that UX designers need to understand the business aspect too. So we try to focus more on the business part over here, being Sage coins and Sage gems. So our main idea was to improvise the whole feature, the functionality, the experience of it, rather than reinventing the whole wheel. I guess that is it from my side. Yeah. We'll be open to questions. Yeah. I'm audible, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Guys, yeah, we're open to questions.
Yeah. Pari, you want to ask anything? I'm gonna just take a bit of time.
Yeah. So actually, I'm curious about the interaction that you built, right? Which is essentially like you're swiping on books. I'm assuming it's the parallel thing, right? Okay. So what happens, like, if I swipe right, it goes into my library, is it? And then it's like swiping right is the equivalent of adding the book to your cart, to your library.
Okay. To your bookmarks. So if you super like it, then it'll go to your cart.
All right. Okay. And then I can choose to check out with the books that I have liked.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So what I'm curious about is that since you said that this is a platform just for bibliophiles, right? By the way, good job of putting all of this together and explaining everything. It was fun. So if it's just for bibliophiles, like how would you expect like the community angle to come in? So one of the things you did was to invite people and then you get gems, which is obviously great. But then the angle around what are others in my circle reading, or like getting inspired from other, let's say, bibliophiles, or like creating a club of bibliophiles, like things like that.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts around that and bringing that into this?
So in our future engagements, what we could do is probably create a community system where if you go to a certain product, let's just say over here it's probably Sprint. We go over there. There's a proper clubhouse meet or something, a normal room setup where you could go and discuss on a regular basis about what your thoughts are on a book. And if, like, let's just say Anay wants to buy a book and he doesn't have an idea about it, he can just join the club and understand what all insights can he gain from that. So it's like a community. Like it would obviously be great to add a community feature over here, but obviously people would like to read in silence, and I think it's very like, it's fine. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I had something in mind. Yeah. But community feature would obviously sound exciting on this.
Got it. Yeah, I think it was similar to the earlier question that Salman had asked, right? Like of how this would be differentiated from Amazon, because Amazon already has such an amazing recommendation system. They have all the books out there listed, right? And they have some sort of a tie-up with Goodreads as well, so people get redirected from Goodreads and then they go to Amazon. So yeah, I was just wondering, like, how would this platform differentiate itself as being better from, let's say, Amazon?
Okay, so our plan was to conduct a usability testing on that swipe feature, but due to time constraint, we couldn't actually do that. But we are pretty sure that if you go to an app or a website where you filter out the categories that you have and then search for a book, it would take you more than 12 seconds to find a book, find a specific book. But over here, we are just providing you with a list of 15-20 books based on your systems. So it is a much faster way to interact. Like instead of clicking or swiping, it's just left and right. That, I guess that is one of the reasons why Tinder and other companies based on that idea have a faster interaction. That's our approach towards it. And yeah.
Awesome. We have 1 more minute. So, Mr.
I
Salman.
think what I find, by the way, great job. I love the thought process, your research, and of course, like, don't like reinvent the wheel. Like most of the shopping apps have like one straightforward flow. Just use the same flow. And I think more than the UI interaction, your the thing which makes it different is the bidding.
Yeah.
Which you have. So
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
more than to Pari's question, I think you should have answered that is more different than
Yes, sir.
The other thing is I like the part where you said like you're gonna like drop in like I guess collectibles every month.
Yes, sir.
Wasn't that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Exclusive
I
collectibles.
think
This idea was
yeah.
This idea was based out of a company called as Supreme. They have very expensive and like beautiful products, so they drop stuff like on a regular basis. It is not something which happens like, okay, I'll drop a merchandise every month. It's like a drop a month, and that is very exclusive and a limited amount. So that creates a mindset in people that, dude, I need to buy that. It's exclusive. So we try to
Should,
like play with the minds of our users. Yeah.
You should add NFTs to it, like to your collectibles.
Yes, surely. If we have
Also, the
digital
part,
items somewhere.
sorry to cut you off, Pratik. Also, I think Pratik missed it. A participant can participate in, a customer can participate in bidding if he reaches a certain level. That's why we have the whole gamification model comes in.
Yeah.
So,
Cool, awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Thanks a
Pratik.
lot.
Thank you, Anit.
Thank
That
you.
was a beautiful presentation.
Thank you for the time.
Thank you. Thank you.
You
Have a
guys
nice day.
can exit the stage.
You
Thank
too.
you. So next up we have with us Diddly Design.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
All right. Again, you guys will be having 5 minutes for your presentation and then 5 minutes for the judges to ask you questions. So you have the floor now. Go ahead.
Awesome. I'll just quickly share my screen. Okay. So we are Team MarsCat. I'm Mary.
I'm Jenny.
And we're calling in from Canada. It's 5:43 a.m. here. So I'm going to hand it over to Jenny.
So the random problem generator gave us this lovely brief to design a tvOS app on the Apple TV for helping the environment to help aliens. So the double help got us there for a bit, but we refined the problem down to that Martians are depleting their finite natural resources at an alarming rate, and we want to help, but are conscious of potentially alienating them or making them feel like we humans somehow know better about their planet than they do.
So essentially, we tried to figure out how can we actually help aliens in a way that is non-invasive, but we still want to get them to give them strategies in order to have more sustainable practices on their planet.
And we came up with this solution, a real-time natural resource management data dashboard software available on Apple TV OS. So the key features will be real-time resource tracking, where they will be able to watch a live satellite footage on Mars of all these resources being extracted, as well as video footage on Earth of the consequences that we've experienced by not being mindful of our resource use. Secondly, we will be including inclusive design for all Martians, since there are 2 species of them, and they had a different physiology than humans, like no eardrums or super sensitive sight. So we needed different ways of accessibility design for them. And lastly, we will be including an alert system for alarmingly scarce resources that Martians should be paying attention to and addressing.
Yep, so why are we doing this?
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, there was a man named Elon Musk on planet Earth, and he had a dream. Elon must go to Mars. And that he did, with SpaceX, of course. After establishing an interplanetary tourism business, Elon's company depleted all of Earth's fossil fuels and caused a chain reaction that ultimately destroyed Earth, making it uninhabitable. But it's okay, because eDaddy Elon has been networking with Martians, and we can all live on Mars, apparently. But Elon got worried, thinking, what if I destroy Mars too? And he set out on a mission to assess the situation on Mars. In order to do that, we gotta first meet the Martians.
So we have, as we mentioned, 2 different species of Martians, which I'll quickly run through. The first one is pronounced diddly-doo. This one here is called Paul, and his occupation is a sulfuric specialist, so he deals directly with natural resources. His actual sense capabilities are quite different, so he doesn't have any eardrums, so that's an auditory impairment that we had to design for. And then another key one is that he has great HD vision, so he can rely more on his sight. Our other user type is ET, so he's kind of the inverse of Paul in that he has supersonic hearing, so his hearing is really, really good. But then because his pupils are really dilated, he has very sensitive vision, and so we also had to design for that. Luckily, the Apple tvOS controls already kind of account for this in various ways, which I won't dig into due to time. But there's the audio interface, there's volume control, there's also closed captioning for the one that has more sight. And then in terms, these are just a few screen grabs of our prototype, which we'll go through in a second, which does use key design principles, like using contrasting colors, as you can see there in the left frame, allowing the user to see things more clearly, as well as more tailored accessibility, so they can select the species type, and then the experience will cascade depending on what user they are, and then just really, really clear, simplistic content. So with that, we're in the Space Experience tvOS shopping area, and then they can select the particular application, which is MarsCare. And so here the user can select which species they are. And so if I am an ET, everything will be cascaded down for that. And then here you can see Mars, and there are different locations, and it's all in the Martian language. as it's obviously accessible for them and they won't understand English. And so they select the particular area that they're wanting to focus on and see relevant information to that area. And then to Ginny.
So here you see all the abundant resources that are present at this location site. And you can see also the weather, how it affects that area and these resources, and some levels of the natural gases that the Martian should be paying attention to. And in this pie chart of all the abundant resources present in this area, you can click on individual ones. And if you go to that one, you'll be able to see that live satellite footage that we were talking about at the extraction site on Mars. And here at the right top corner, you'll be able to see a graph of how much of that specific resource is left on Mars and how much there is left on Earth. And then there's another video footage of on Earth of the consequences that we've experienced as we did not pay attention to our resources. And from here,
I'm so sorry to cut in, Team Digi Design. I'm so sorry to cut in, but you will have to wrap this up. Your 5 minutes are like turning in, so like 30 seconds wrap this up.
That's all good.
So the user can click on different locations and view a different video footage of that specific location. So when there is an alarming rate of one specific resource or gases, the system will automatically alert the user and take them to a footage of that site, the satellite live footage, so that they can check if it's really immediately urgent to address. And then they'll be connected to the Martian authorities to explain the situation, what they've observed, so that they can adequately get the matters resolved, hopefully.
Yeah. Okay. And so
some future directions. Elon has already released this name of an intergalactic media company, and we have some opportunities for interplanetary expansion there, with the ETs being a large majority of the immigrants on Mars. We can infiltrate that market through connecting with them. Thank you for your time.
I will stop sharing.
This is really cool. It's awesome. I loved the pitch that you guys put together. It was amazing. It was also very funny and sort of like very intelligently done. So really enjoyed that, as well as the take on making this very sort of semi-futuristic, taking into account satellite imagery, taking into account like different kinds of species, their sense capabilities. So this is very, very well thought through, and especially for 48 hours, I felt like this was really well done. So great job. I had one question, right? And this is more around your sort of, when you went from what you defined as a problem to what you defined as the solution you want to do, right? So the problem is more around, hey, people on Mars or aliens on Mars are depleting their resources. Now, how do we help them sort of in this process, right? And the solution is more from the perspective of actually, it's great because it's giving everyone sort of open access to climate data, which we don't have today, right? Like I, as a person, don't have a one-stop place where I can go and click around the earth and actually see imagery of what's happening and how bad that is. So it's really good in sort of making me aware of the overall picture and how bad it can get. But I was also sort of curious in terms of how could it recommend this exact steps that possibly I could take, right? And possibly, since we are assuming this is way much sort of longer into the future, there could be also like exact tracking, let's say, of, currently I would like estimate this is the amount of carbon, let's say, that I wasted because I've been using this many devices or I've been doing this many things, but I don't actually have data around that. But in the future, can that be better? And what could be the ways in which I can get sort of pinpointed data on exactly what are the things that I did today or that I could sort of set targets for or streaks for to sort of reduce and actually see the numbers in action. So yeah, I was sort of curious about that angle.
Yeah, we actually did talk about using correlational data to predict certain natural disasters that might happen, and it could
there's definitely like a space for having more like personalized information, like a dashboard about their personal influence or interaction with this stuff, so that they can change their behavior on an individual level. Obviously, this is more of an aggregate level. It's seeing how general mining or using those resources will impact the environment on Mars. But an individual level is just as justified, and people need to do it at an individual. Martians need to do it at an individual level, obviously. So that's definitely something that we would consider as a future consideration if this was to ever come to fruition.
Yeah. Thanks for your question.
Guys, good job, awesome. Like, it was funny, and I don't know if you gain time or lose time being in a different time zone, but yeah, like, great job. You missed out Starlink and Dogecoin. I don't know why.
What could be the currency?
I like the fact you kind of like consider the alien senses, high pitch tone, and he cannot hear, and the contrasting visuals, and what else? Oh, we still need dashboards to show data. So yeah, you came up with the dashboard, which is good. Yeah, in terms of like storytelling, I like the way you've put it, but the data, yeah, should have been like in one place, maybe. I don't know. It depends on. But yeah, good job. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else. Yeah. Thanks for presenting.
Thank you,
so
Digital Design.
much. Thank you. Lovely designs. Good to see Martians and Elon Musk.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right. Okay, great. So we're gonna move on to the next team. A very fun name. They have a very fun name, Eureka. So please join in, Team Eureka, if you're ready. All right. Great. Hello.
Hello.
All right, Team Eureka, you'll be having 5 minutes. So good luck, and the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. I'll just start sharing my screen. So hi, we're Team Eureka. I'm Muskan and my partner is Ritvik. And I'll first just slowly walk you through the research that we did and what our project was about. So the statement that we generated was basically to design a tvOS app for finding recipes for bibliophiles. So we were not really familiar with how the tvOS app worked and what was the whole procedure. So we had to kind of like look into it first before we looked into our primary user base, which was bibliophiles. So just to understand and get an idea of how it works, Apple has a really good documentation of human interaction guidelines they have for each of them, and they've explained it very well. So that was a nice experience for us, and we learned about the sizes and how it's presented. So some things I'm just going to quickly elaborate on. So they have a really nice focus and selection concept that they use, and focus and parallax one too. So they have certain guidelines and certain things that if you want to stay focused on something, this is how you present it. Also, the images that are there, they use layered images, which basically give a greater and experience, a better experience, and you see like something, a more depth of field when you move around as a viewer. The remote was also quite interesting, other than the generic remotes that we have for smart TVs, for example, the Amazon Fire Stick. Now, this had a touch surface, which was quite similar to how we have touch interactions in smartphones. So, for example, if you swipe from bottom to up, you have this photo coming along. So it was quite nice. And they also had a very important point, which was differentiating between taps and clicks. That taps are not intentional, but clicks are intentional. So, how we're just highlighting something when it's tapped, but when it's clicked, you're supposed to open it. And of course, there was Siri incorporated in that, and Siri works much better. And these were just some little pointers that we gathered while going through it. I'll ask Ritvik to continue from here.
So for the second part of a problem statement, which was to design an OS app, a TV OS app for finding recipes to help bibliophiles. So we explored upon the terms finding recipes, and we basically divided them into two interpretations. One was looking for recipes, searching for the recipes, and the second part was when the user has found the recipe, they would want to create the dish. So for looking the recipes, we explored dimensions like ingredients, people, geography, history. How would they use their search filters? What are the relevant aspects that they explore? And then for the aspect where for the time when they have found the recipe and they want to create the dish, then but one thing we realized was that we were doing it for bibliophiles, so the interviews will touch just in a minute. And so one of the insights from the interview was that the major reasons like people love books is because of the content, because of the story, and naturally so we wanted to incorporate storytelling, and for storytelling we basically drew an analogy of how stories could be incorporated in dishes. So when you in the screen that you see, so we have character. So stories has a few components like characters, settings, plot, and description. So we drew analogies into how it would be in a recipe. So for characters, we would have the users, the home cooks, and then the chefs would who are explaining the recipe. Then for the setting, we want every dish has a story. It may be a historical story, it may be something that you've learned from your grandmother, and so everything has a story, and that story is basically the setting of the dish. And the plot, for the plot, it's basically how the story flows, how the dish is prepared. And for the description, it is each and every instruction being narrated for the recipe. So moving on to the interviews, so we conducted 4 to 5 interviews with both bibliophiles and people who usually find recipes. Not necessarily being bibliophiles. So for the major insights I'll elaborate on are that for finding recipes, people usually prefer videos when they're looking for recipes, so that it gives them a visual representation of what they'll cook and how much, for example, browning of onion, so how much brown they need to be, and so on. And but while they're cooking, they prefer recipe blogs, so that they don't have to pause and play and move ahead, wait for the video to tell what to do. They need the instruction, and then text is better. Similarly, for bibliophiles, 2 or 3 things that came out were that the books allow them to have undivided attention. For example, if you're watching TV, you might switch on your phone and you do things like that. But for books, you have to have your complete attention, so it will be unwavered. And then books allow them to transport themselves to another world. They are part of another story. So incorporating these insights, we went on to what features should our application have. And then one of the features that we incorporated was that a community of recipes. So basically, not only chefs, local home cooks could also upload the recipe, and the selling point of these would be the story and not the ingredients. So the story that that dish incorporates, and why do you want others to want to try it, why is it close to your heart. So that story is the selling point for others. And this also allows them to be a part of someone else's story, be part of another story. So similarly, and then also one another point was that we wanted to utilize the TV OS. So TV is, how is it different from a computer and a lap? Mobile is one of the things that is very big. So we wanted to incorporate both the video and the text, so that the users could engage in both. Yeah, so we did that. I
Yeah,
think we
I'll
have time. Yeah, we can move to the
Yeah, please.
high fidelity thing.
Just a second. So another thing that I wanted to add to what Ritvik just mentioned was that another aspect of having a television is that whenever you're watching TV, TVs are placed in community areas. When a lot of people come together and watch it, it's generally a shared space, which allows them to bond over something or watch something together, which is not there with phones and personal devices. So these were just like task flows that we had derived to kind of understand and situate our problem better, and the low fidelity ones. Now I'm gonna move on to the high fidelity prototype.
Sorry to cut in, but please try to wrap up within 30 seconds. All right. Thank you so much. All right.
Sure.
I'll have to zoom out a little bit because this is.
उसका वहाँ पे टॉप राइट कॉर्नर में ऑप्शन है.
Yeah, it's done. So I'm just gonna start. So this was like when we started with the tvOS's app menu, and when we kind of like click on it, it gets highlighted, and this thing happens where everything else kind of blurs out, and this thing comes up in focus. So this was just our loading screen with like a little bit of animation such that like stories are popping up. To give a feel of the book, we just kind of made these little stickies when you would like turn the page. This was just so we kind of looked for which were the most popular books of all time. So we found To Kill a Mockingbird was very popular in 100 Years of Solitude. So we kind of like used puns here and added a little humor to, make it more interesting and fun for the user. And because of books and recipes and the storytelling methods we were using, we also wanted to kind of create like a sense of intimacy, a sense of comfort and belongingness, because this is a community at the end of the day, as Ritu had mentioned, and it's a community of chefs and home cooks together. So this was where, so since it was storytelling based, there were like genres that we used. So there were recipe of the day, which were featured recipes. This little thing shows that this recipe is being delivered by a chef, a verified chef. And these are the genres. For now, we will go to the mystery
Sorry
genre.
to cut in. I'm so sorry to cut in, but I unfortunately time's up. Right, so we have to progress to the
There are just
judges' question.
2 frames left. Is that okay?
I think I'm sorry. We give you 30 seconds. I think it's about time. All right. So
Yeah,
I
I've
think
been
go
through
ahead.
the Figma prototype, so it should be fine, I think. I've seen all the screens.
Okay. So yeah,
So this
questions?
is great. Oh, by the way, I love that the way that you did the very in-depth sort of whiteboarding exercise, and I love the way that you tied in the aspect of bibliophiles and recipes, and then how you looked at a dish like a story, right? So that is very interesting, and I like that you actually thought that deeply about it, right? In terms of actually the approach that you came up with, I think it's good in terms of the copywriting that you came up with. And I guess like if you folks had a little bit more time, you would have been able to explore the screens also a little bit more detailed or better. But it's a good attempt in terms of just fundamentally thinking about it, right, and making it really interesting. Like I'm a person who I myself am a person who reads a lot of books, and this seemed to be very interesting. Another angle that I'm curious about, and I was wondering if you folks had actually think about, was um, sometimes a lot of the times books mention a lot of dishes, right? So for example, let's say I'm reading Sherlock Holmes. It's set in a certain period in a certain country, right? So would I want to create a recipe from that book that I'm reading right now? Or if I'm reading a Russian book, which I've been reading now, read these days a lot, right? They talk a lot about the food that they eat, right? In terms of meat or like just unique kinds of things that they eat. So would I be curious to know about like how to make that in that style from that book? And vice versa also, right? If someone likes reading books, like books about food culture and food as living culture, a lot of people are into food writing and things like that, like being recommended with things like that, could also have been really interesting. So you could have also explored that. Yeah.
Ma'am, actually, it's really interesting too. We agree, and that was our first idea. So how we started thinking about it was actually Goldilocks. So you have the Goldilocks story, right? Goldilocks goes into the bear's house, and they have porridge there. So that was our initial idea, from which we had transformed to this, because then the user base would just be the people who would feel nostalgia towards the stories that we're presenting, and not entirely the other people. So it will not be relevant to the people who have not read Goldilocks, for example, or who have not read certain story. So that's why we thought to expand our user base. This was a more workable way to go about it.
Yeah, I kind of get what you tried to do was like it scales to every story and every dish, sort of. But yeah, I mean, still having that mapped out somewhere for the ones that were still relevant would have been really good in sort of making that association. But it's really good.
Fair enough, ma'am. I agree with you.
So as Bari said, I love the whiteboarding exercise you did, and I guess you guys will be a great design thinking facilitators, like 100%, 101%. And yeah, like user research and stuff. I'm like, it's really nice. Uh, I would have liked to seen things like relating, like what, like keeping the persona of the person in terms of like what he reads. As I think Pari mentioned it, like if I'm reading this, maybe suggest recipes according to like something related to the book or the age or something like that, and kind of give suggestions. Hey, do you want to cook this, in the afternoon for lunch? Uh,
We
and
Yeah, can I just so we
go ahead.
sort of try to incorporate that. So basically, in the genres that there are, mystery, comedy. So those cannot exactly be linked to dishes in a single line. So we basically utilize them as themes. So if you should see, we our use case was basically for mystery. So we had a sketch of Sherlock Holmes in the theme. So that way we try to incorporate the genres of stories into a digital cookbook per se.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Not just themes, like maybe there is some dish mentioned in the book somewhere, you could kind of
Right.
like use, I don't know, machine learning or something, like pick up and then, hey, here you go, this one. But yeah, great job, great research work. And yeah, I think number of clicks have like not clicks, taps. Oh, by the way, the remote you've presented, that's the old version. Now Apple has a new version. They've changed the remote control.
Oh,
Just saying.
okay.
But
Thank you for
great job.
telling me.
Great job. Great job. Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much, team. Thank you for
Thank you.
your
Thank you.
presentation. All right. We'll be moving on to the next theme. And the next theme is heliotrope. Hello, guys. You turn
Hello,
on.
am I audible?
Yeah. We can't see you. Could you please turn on your camera, Karthik?
Is it okay if I don't? My camera has some issue, so I cannot just turn on my camera. Is it fine?
All right, that's okay. So I'm just
Okay.
gonna give you the quick rules. You'll have 5 minutes to present, followed by 5 minutes of questioning by the judges. All right. All the best.
Okay.
You can take it from here.
Yeah. Is my screen visible? Is the screen visible, guys? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
so starting off, our problem statement was to develop an iOS app for music streaming for to help senior citizens. So at first, this was the first attempt, and we were like, okay, I think this is a very interesting problem because as we see our grandparents and everyone, they have really trouble looking for the right song, the videos, to find that song that was like there long back, to search that on YouTube also is, they need our help for that. And that's why I think this app, if we could take it further, I think it'll be really helpful for all the senior citizens. And keeping that in mind, we have listed down a few features specially designed for them. And also starting off, Karthik, can you start the sign up thing?
Good morning, everyone. So we had music. Our basic idea was to make application and music searching very easy for the senior citizen. So we started off by the signing up page. The signing up page is designed in such a way that they can directly sign in using their Apple ID, which is a lot easier if it comes to scanning, fingerprint scanning or face scanning. So that's how you enter this music app. Once you are entered, this is the main page. That's how it goes. You can just directly play the music that has been playing before, or you can just look for the other
Browse
artists,
through.
or
Yeah.
browse through, or just look at what their friends have been listening to and sharing with them. After that comes, this is the main profile, how it goes. This is, you can just go and check who all the friends are. And we have introduced one more feature known as sleep mode in for elder people. It's basically like there is a time when you are just listening to music and just then you just fall asleep. For us, it's quite easier. We can just get up and just turn the music down. But for senior citizens, we have kept this in mind. We have just give them a sleeping mode which allows you to set a timer, and once your playlist will be played in the background, and once that timer is off, the application closes itself. So that's how the sleep mode will work. Here, keeping the corona situation in mind, we had introduced one feature known as music party. This was basically to bring everyone together, not only the older generation, but us. We as younger generation want to have, we want to
Spend
vibe
more time.
together. We just want to vibe together. For that, we had made a music party in which we can just call in the people, call in our friends, and just enjoy and maybe just confess what we are feeling in the form of music. Priya?
Yeah. So basically, remix world is something. So considering time, even though there are old people, they're senior citizens, everybody has different aspects to the song, right? So we introduced the remix world in which, supposingly, I'm listening to a present song that is an old song. Supposingly, Ajib Dastan hai, and we have a few remixes right now. Like newer generation people have created a lot of remix covers and all that. So if a person wants to listen to that, they can always go to the remix world and they can see the latest updates on the music that is already, which was there, which was old and which is new. So this is kind of our way to, get the children and the older generation together at one place. And not only considering that old senior citizens listen to old songs, we tried something new that they might like to listen to the newer versions of what was there back at that time. Then I think so then next we have like as normal, like they can always connect to their friends and they can invite them to a party. They can always send their friend that come to a party and they can chill together. Then also we've added this feature of adding music. As senior citizens, it's not easy to type, search, get the spellings right. So if somebody wants to, get the music, they can just scan it through another phone or the code, and they can get their playlist, get it added to their playlist. And also considering mind that the old people, they might end up not understanding at the first place how to go about the app, and that we made sure that we handle the error that is happening in that. So we always, if they press any button which is supposed to exit the window or add a new song, anything like that, we have this timer which is like they tells them that this your app will switch off or your application will close. If they want to do that, they can continue. Otherwise, they can go back to streaming music again. So that is the basic. That was our presentation, and now we would like to show you the
Just to give you how the application
yeah
feels, so
prototype.
here's the prototype.
Karthik, go to the first page. Should I present?
Yeah, it's better if you want to. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll present. Just a second. Can you see? Is it visible?
Not yet.
It's loading, but
Yeah, now
our
it
team
is.
will
Yeah.
try to wrap up after this. All right, please try to
Uh,
wrap up. All right.
Yeah. So that's our app. Then we just sign up. This is the sign up. If we enter the username, they can just continue from here, and then they'll just get to the playlist thing. Further, we have like we have specialized personalized suggestions for them, so that it's easier for them to find the songs that are right for them. These are suggested by us, and not only by us, but as our family and friends know us better, they can also suggest some songs to us, and they'll all be lined up in one place together. And
And
as
this
we
this basically will be based on the past searches. So once you search it,
yeah
the app is fully designed in such a way that the searches is based on year-wise search. So if they put in 1980s to 1990s, all the hits from that particular year or year gap will come in. Once that is decided, every suggestion will be according to that.
Yeah, and this is the playlist we've considered. Also, we've incorporated Siri into it, like if we they voice search. And as we got the problem statement as iOS app, we thought it'll be very important to incorporate that, and that's why we use Siri to this. Like when we ever they click on the voice search, they'll go to the Siri plane and they can get their song, whatever they want to play. This is their profile. Then they can find their friends over here. They can add music. They can always
This is the main player. So
yeah.
everything is here. The volume button is given here so that it's very difficult for elder people to understand which is the power up button, which is the volume up button, which is the volume down button. So we have just directly given them a slider, and it also has the shutdown button here itself, so that if they want to shut down directly, and this will be the main page every time because music listening is the main idea of this application. So everything is there in that page.
Also, if they switch off, they'll get this, as we explain, how they get the timer of the application closing. And if they want to exit, they'll go to another page. They can also in the sleep mode, they can set the timer like this. And it's easier for them to see it. Like if they want to play the music for 1 hour 30 minutes, and then after that, it'll close on its own and the application will close. Yeah.
Yeah.
We also give them, the thing that they want to close it or not, because it's very important for them to understand how the app works, and that's why we made that they get an opportunity to go
I'm
back.
very sorry I have to cut in. I think we'll have to, stop the presentation there because we'll have to move on to the questioning round.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Judges, please
We're done.
take it away.
So I think Malvika has a very tough job to cut people off.
I'm very sorry, but we are keeping and
Yeah, I
schedule. All
understand.
right.
Obviously, yeah.
Take it away. All right.
So, great job, guys. And yeah, obviously, like this app is actually very important in real life. Like especially, I can see my grandparents started using YouTube more than television, and grandma is like sending voice notes on WhatsApp. It's become really like uh, popular with older generations. God bless everyone of our grandparents. So I like the timer feature, the switch off the app feature, the party thing, which is like more like social engagement. The only comment like more I have in this, like the feature and stuff is all brilliant, is on the UI, like the UI itself. I think accessibility wise, like, it should have had larger buttons, larger text, minimize like extra stuff, just focus on like one thing at a time. You get my point? Like
Yeah.
very minimal UI. Like Siri is good, I think, but then still like when you start like having so many things in the screen, it kind of like gets
Just for the
distracting,
easy
especially for like.
accessibility, keeping that point, while we were researching, we took care of that part because it was very difficult for us to design everything there. So the main idea of this UI was to keep it basic, and apart from that, the panel that it was an issue. Like even I have a grandmother, I showed this application to her, and she was like, I cannot see the bottom part. So what I did was I made
Yeah.
it a bit easier for her, and I designed it in such a way that it has everything written upon it. So even if she's switching, yeah, it took like 5-10 minutes to understand, but yeah, once she was used to it, she liked it. So yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with everything that Salman said. Right? Like, by the way, good job in terms of thinking of these features which are optimized for older people. I think they would really enjoy these things, right? About the sleep timer as well as the party feature, so they can listen together. And again, very similar comment on the UI, which is, so I also have a grandmother, right? And a lot of people in a certain age group, especially females, they don't have a very robust educational background, right? So either they can read like a little bit, right? Or they can't read at all, right? But then I've seen even my grandmother, even though she cannot read at all, except for like a few letters here and there, but she can still use WhatsApp because it has minimal controls, and the way that she navigates it, right, is she identifies it through imagery as well as iconography, right? So she will memorize the icon for a certain thing, or she will memorize the photo of a certain person, so she knows where she has to click and then what button she has to click on, right? So in your UI, I saw like at least in the homepage, etc., you were using some artist pictures and things like that. But in a lot of places, it was like, oh, hey, playlist, and then top 10 songs, 1, 2, 3, 4. But it would be difficult for those people to actually read what those songs are, right? So as far as possible, to have imagery or iconography associated with everything that you can interact with
will make sure that it's accessible to people who don't have very good reading skills as well, right? Like even they can sort of memorize and use it. Yeah, so that's my only comment, but otherwise, great job.
All right.
I think for that we took care, like for the icons also, we made sure that we use the minimum, because in a music player we will be requiring a lot of things. We cut down so many things that keeping like four icons below, and that are constant throughout the app. Like it will definitely take any person, like even if we take an iPhone, right? If they get an iPhone, I think they know the basic stuff. Even if they're using WhatsApp, they know how to use it once they start using it. So as Karthik mentioned, that we tried it on our grandparents also. So they just understood like the four features, and they were like, okay, we have to click on this, click on that, click on that. And I think it was a little more smooth like that once we named it on top. And that's why we didn't include too many stuff together on one page. I
Okay,
think
Priya,
on
Priya,
our
Priya,
side,
Priya. I'm very sorry to cut in, but in spirit of keeping on schedule, we're gonna have to cut back right now, and we're gonna move on to the new team. Awesome presentation by both of you. So, moving on, you guys can exit the stage.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. All right. So next up, we have Team Jinx. Are they here?
Hi.
Hi, Sanjana and Fatin. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
Hello.
So, repeating the rules again, you'll be having 5 minutes for your presentation, and the judges will be having 5 minutes for their questions. The floor is yours. Go ahead. Good luck.
Guys, don't jinx it.
Yeah.
I just want to say
Right.
that. I know why.
Yeah, Fatine's gonna present. You're muted. Okay, I'll start. Is my screen visible?
Not yet.
Hi. Now I can. So I'll share the presentation. Uh, yeah.
Hi. So this is our app. It's a WatchOS app. It's called Alatar, and it's a WCWD initiative. WCWD stands for Visiting Committee for Waste Disposal. And yeah, go next. This was our prompt, which was design a WatchOS app for helping the environment to help wizards. But now before we go into the app, obviously we couldn't do any user research because we don't know any wizards, but we could do some research on the helping the environment part. So for the next. So the problem we tackled was littering. It seems like a pretty simple problem, but it has huge consequences, and it causes a lot of pollution. It's a major threat in the environment. It's also a health risk, and most non-wizards have become extremely used to doing it. They don't even think twice before doing it. And a very common scenario is when there's a huge, say there's a gathering in a public place. People don't bother cleaning up and they leave their things as it is. And here are some statistics about that. 75% of people admit that they've littered in the past 5 years. 9 billion tons of litter end up in the ocean every year, and $11 billion are spent in just cleaning up the litter, which is 10 times more than the price it takes to actually dispose of things correctly. And this is where the Visiting Committee for Waste Disposal comes in. It is an organization founded by wizards who cared about the environment. To reduce the amount of litter and lessen its effects on the environment, a group of wizards decided to found the WCWD. The organization works on a volunteer basis, and these volunteers are actually trained to how to tackle this problem, how to get rid of all this litter using magic. And this is where the app comes in. It is used to keep track of all their activities. Now the question arises, if they're wizards, why can't anyone just do it? Why do you need a separate committee to come up with such a thing? Why can't any wizard who sees litter do it? It's an interesting problem, but the spell that actually is required to get rid of this litter, it's the vanishing spell. It's really tricky. It requires expertise, and if a non-wizard sees you do it, just vanish litter, they're gonna notice that something's seriously wrong, and it's even illegal in the visiting world. So these volunteers undergo training, and they're trained to become masters at this spell, and they're trained to avoid non-visit detection, and which is why we actually needed a committee to handle this problem. Next, coming about the app, it's a WatchOS app that helps all WCWD volunteers to come together and gives them location where cleanup efforts are required. And why does the committee actually need it? First of all, it helps create a database in case there's an issue later on with or someone has been spotted. They know exactly when it happened, who was responsible for the cleanup at that area. And it also creates a community sort of feeling where people there's a point system, we'll come to that later, but it also creates a community, and it makes sure that all the cleanups are complete and everything is kept track of.
So I'll come to the prototype now. So this is the home screen of the WatchOS. This is the app icon. When you click on it, you are allowed to sign in using your Apple ID. Now this process happens with the companion, which we'll get to later, but basically you have a secret invite code if you're part of the WCWD, and you can sign in with Apple and connect your account. And when you do that, the WatchOS syncs with your Apple ID and basically lets you in the WatchOS app. So this is the onboarding. Click on proceed, and this is the main menu. So we firstly have the active ongoing task. Let's say I click on active. I don't have any active ongoing tasks. I can see the available tasks that are around me. So if I click on view tasks, these are the available tasks around me. I can see where it is, the location, and how far it is. And on the top, I'll see a group cleanup drive that's happening around me if there is. So let's say I choose to participate in that. I can click on it. I'll be shown the map view, and tapping on the map leads me to the official map app of the WatchOS. But let's say the cleanup drive hasn't started yet, so I can set a reminder here. And if it has begun, then I can mark it as clean. And if all the wizards who are part of this cleanup drive mark it as clean, let's say in this case it's 7, then the task will be completed. So confirm. So I'll show you the notification. Let's say you're wearing the watch, and let's say you're around some place that's been marked as a task, right? So we'll get a haptic feedback, and we'll get a notification that there's a new task around. So new cleanup at whatever your place and how far it is from the cleanup place. You can dismiss it, and you can accept it. Let's say I choose to accept it. Then again, I'm shown the same map with the distance and the location. You can mark it as clean, or you can cancel the ongoing task. So let's say I mark it as clean, confirm. And then I'm taken back to the main menu. Now, exploring the other 3 options, we have firstly profile. Now, here's where the point system comes in. So this is my profile. I have a unique handle, my level, and points, and my experience. So as I do a task, I gain points, and those points can be further redeemed to buy cosmetics from the shop. And that shop is part of the companion app that's in the iPhone. I will show you that later, but for now, this is the points, XP, and task. I can scroll this, and this is my character. And this is the XP I've earned and the level I'm at. And these are my past tasks that I have completed in the past. So going back to profile, you have other tasks that are available around you. So let's say I accept this one, mark it as clean, confirm. So again, I get points, and then there's the community section where I can see sort of the leaderboard of the top wizards in my area, which is for now we have set it to the country.
Fardin, I'm so sorry to cut in, but you have 30 seconds to wrap it up.
Or so yeah, this is my place, and yeah, basically this is the whole experience. And for the iPhone app, we basically have a splash screen, as I mentioned earlier, an invite code and a sign in.
The
And
reason we have a companion app is there are two main reasons. The first is that to log in on the Apple Watch, you can't really type things over there. So there, you log in through your iPhone app, and it automatically connects to your watch, because that's how Apple actually functions. The second is in the character customization. You can't customize characters on a watch; it's too small a screen. So that is handled by the app, and that is where your points and your levels and your XP comes into use, and it kind of creates a gamified experience. You can also, from the app, you can also share your characters to other community members, and it creates a closer bond with the rest of the community.
so yeah, this is the rest of the presentation in case
That's just a
you
more
guys
detailed
want.
account of each screen
Yeah.
and each app and what everything does. Open to questions.
So, great job. I just want to ask. So, this app is for volunteers, correct?
Yes.
For wizard volunteers.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And yeah, I like the part you mentioned, like vanishing crew. Can't be vanished. Like, why can't you just vanish it?
Yeah.
But it would have been nice, like, since like this is an exercise and you have wizards in play, you should have just gone crazy and just thought, using the vanishing crew, but then thought of an action to help the vanishing crew, like, I don't know, get to places maybe. You get my point? Or maybe share
The
spells.
wizards. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, for
So the wizard.
like the wizard, yeah. Just keep the
Yeah,
wizard
but they
as the
can.
persona. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Instead
they
of
can
relating it
teleport,
to
right?
make it more human,
Yeah.
like I was thinking, no, I was just like, guys, like unless like you go crazy out of the blue, like you can't like think, you'll be restrictive. You get my point?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just a suggestion. Like whenever, like when you're coming up or discussing projects, like first jot down like all the crazy ideas. It may not be possible, it might be possible, don't know. Like so we decide that later. But yeah, good job. I like the way like you constrain to the iOS, system. It's good. Pari?
Yeah, I mean, very comprehensive, I think, from start to finish. It feels like you spend your time and also in a very balanced way. So both the thinking part as well as the solution seems to be very well fleshed out. A sort of plus one to what Saman said was like this could as easily be used by human volunteers as well, right? With a few like tweaks. But then given that it's wizards, I don't know, some imagination in terms of, let's say I'm going on a fire, like my broomstick now, and I'm rushing towards some place, right? Like how much time would that take by traveling by broomstick? Like let's say I can cover this in 10 minutes or something, or I can is there like an apparition portal available there when I can apparate over there, so I can maybe clean that faster, some stuff like that, which just more focused on how the wizard persona is, could have sort of really make this shine a lot. But a really good job in terms of thinking and detailing the designs. Yeah.
Yeah. So about the wizard
Thank you.
persona, what we considered as base, which we should have actually mentioned, was the fact that yes, they can obviously teleport to wherever it is required, and that is why in the map we have the location as well as how far it is, so that they know exactly how much time it might take for them to reach. But yeah, for sure, we could have actually mentioned the time. Hey, say they were traveling by a broomstick, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the normal human map, I would see, but possibly wizards see the map in a very different way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, that was a beautiful presentation. Do you have any more questions? So,
No,
I'm
good.
good.
Yeah, great job. Like beautiful
great
presentation.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Jinx,
Thank
you can
you.
exit.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Up next, we have
All right,
team.
Pachita, who's our next
Yes.
team?
Team Just Chill. I hope.
All
I'm
right.
waiting for
I
a
think
breezy
we're just having a
presentation.
slight issue. Anyway, our next team is Just Chill. Hi, guys.
Hi. Okay.
All right.
Good evening to all. I hope you all are doing
Just
well.
sorry to cut. Sorry, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna tell you a couple of rules before you start your presentation. So sorry to cut it. So you'll
No,
have
no, no.
5 minutes for your presentation, and then 5 minutes where the judges will you can have a discussion and the questions will be there. All right. All the best. Thank
Sounds
you.
great.
All the best.
Thank you. Also, one sec. Just checking in. I can't see my teammate. Is he here, or is it just not mine?
I think he'll be joining soon.
Okay.
Can you ask your teammate to join?
Can I do that? Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's here. All
right.
Sorry.
Vikas
Yeah.
Shetty. Both
Okay.
of you ready?
We're
I'll
good.
start the timers once you tell me you're ready.
Okay. Yeah, we're good to go.
Good to go? All right. The floor is yours.
Okay. So first off, I hope you all are doing well. Considering all the situation and everything. Thank you for having us on the stage today, because I think this is a great opportunity for us to take back a lot from today. Jumping in, right? So the majority of wine buyers may not be aware of how to select a certain wine because of the lack of prior experience, thoughtless and impulsive buying, scarcity of wide selection, resulting into having an overall bad experience, right? And because of that, there is this lack of taste or wrong selection or pairing of a wine with specific foods that does not go well, right? And causing a lot of headaches, or just ruining a situation, or ruining an occasion that you brought the wine in for, right? So essentially, that is what we are jumping into. So I'm Yutika, and I'm one of the founders of the venture, the only wine buying platform that makes customers happy by experiencing the wines instead of just drinking them. Today, I'm joined by Vikas Shetty, who's the co-founder and will be walking us through the solution. Right? So our solution, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Vikas?
Yeah, so basically, my name is Vikas, and sorry to cut you guys short. And so basically, we are here to solve a problem which is quite sophisticated, and we are on a mission to solve this problem and the challenge for wine tasters and other users for the app to help them buy the finest wine, promote the professions, and provide exceptional experience to all the buyers. So this was predominantly our idea, and we wanted to make it as personal and as easy as possible. And I think Ritika can go ahead with the presentation.
Okay, so we came up with the idea of Heliotropes, which essentially means
Is
right? The idea behind the app itself was that, based on our research, we realized that, the Indian market essentially thinks of wine as a means or a way for bringing, occasion together, right? Because it's one of the exquisite wines or exquisite alcohols that, is used on bigger occasions, right? So we wanted to bring that essence here. And Ekatra, because the wine capital of India is Maharashtra, so we wanted to use a Marathi word, to just bring that essence in of togetherness, right? So we are all hoping to get an experience out of this whole procedure, right? And this is the app for you.
I'm very sorry, but we're not currently able to see the presentation. Could you please try to screen share?
I'm so sorry. Oh, okay. 1 second. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, please. Yeah, could you just try sharing it again? We couldn't see it. All right.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I didn't
No
realize.
problem. Yeah,
Okay, can we just go back to the whole part again then? Just to brief over on that part.
I'm sure, but please share your screen so we had to see.
Yes. Can you see it now?
Yep, it's visible.
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't know you guys couldn't see. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so the solution itself is to make the experience a lot better for anybody who's coming onto the app itself, right? And that is by hitting the personalization part of the app, right? Because I think anything that is personalized makes the whole experience a lot better, which is a problem that we identified even with our competitors or even by our research, which is going to be a little differentiating, right? And again, Ekatra, meaning togetherness, and that is what we're going for. So just to have you run by the idea, we have a video available. Yeah. So jumping right in, we identified, a few problems that the market itself, has, which is basically lack of awareness. Not a lot of people even know how to, approach wine. Even from the start, like, what are the kinds, what are the types, how do you sip wine, things like that. The legalities in India, because it's really not legal yet, or is still in the process of that. It recently happened that in 2020, because of the COVID situation, the government, looked into the bill once again for, alcohol to be sold online, right? So things like that have been a problem. Intimidation, there's a big factor involved about intimidation, because people have had constant, the perception of it being such a, high class sort of a thing, that, a lot of people shy away or do not even take the first step into, trying the wine out in the first place, right? And that is what we're trying to solve over here. And we are basically hoping to hit up, wine tasters to help us through the process, and in turn also educate them into, doing the same, because, based on the research, we again found out that wine tasters in India aren't, up to the mark when compared to the wine tasters of any other country, right? That's because of the lack of awareness that we have. So our vision from all of this together is to make our customer happy by educating them and getting them to purchase something that they would cherish. Okay. And our mission, again, essentially is to provide them an unmatchable experience, right? That will help them understand what they're consuming. And when they consume, they have, the kind of memory that you can't really forget. And our differentiator is definitely that, we will be assisting them through the whole process from the start to the very end. So that is from the thought process of them, maybe wanting to explore around wines, to, learning about them, to purchasing them, and also tasting them, right? And this is a key differentiator, because, according to our competitors, or based on the research that we did, most of them are either too focused on just buying the wine, or, just getting a product out there, right? There's nothing about making it a lot more easier for them. There's a lot of cognitive overload on the websites, which makes it even more harder for them to take the first step into, getting there. And why now, right? Because I think the market has been we found out that, the market has been picking up a lot more in the recent years. Even though in 2017 we had a drop, it has been picking up a lot more over the COVID time, right? And so we want to pick it up from here, because the market is pretty fresh, right? And that's what we're going for.
So basically, the business model was created in order to just make sure that we had a business understanding of the product, and we are feasible enough to come into the market. And so we decided that.
Hi, I'm really sorry to cut in. Please try to wrap it up in 30 seconds. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, cool. Okay, I'll make sure of that.
All right.
Definitely. Thank you so much. Okay, so basically we decided to have something called as the Ekatra experience, through which we can earn some revenue by wine tasting courses, by tours, and having education of wine, because that is our key value proposition. And after that, advertisements, where we can earn by cost per clicks or impressions. And so we understood these key parameters in order to in order to at least excel in the market. And we also understand the customer segments, which are the wine tasters, and 85% of them were wine buyers. And it was up to like around 70 years that this is going on, that these are the target groups. And the next slide. Yeah, so this is the current stage that we are in. And so we are right now looking for investors to invest in our product, which we required at least $12,000 for that MVP, and to develop to at least develop a good product in the market, which can sustain a longer time maybe, and also make an impact. And in the phase 2, we might at least require $47,000 and maybe a 15% equity of for the company, and maybe market launch and testing of the users. And
just move on to proof of concept.
Yeah.
So we are at the ideation phase. We are doing the we have the proof of concept ready, right? And we follow the whole UI UX process to get into the same. So I'm just going to quickly get you to the prototype, right? We have the whole process in terms of onboarding. The reason why we're emphasizing on email and phone number is because there is legal issues in India. Moving on, we have a questionnaire, which is basically the personalization part that we are looking into. This will help them narrow down the choice, giving them a better experience in terms of what they want to buy. And this is, again, very simple questions that makes it a lot more easier for the user to be engaged in and also answer to get the right kind of, wine bottle that they're looking for, right? So again, just, we have,
I'm very
just 2 minutes. Just a minute. I won't take long. 1 minute. I promise. Yeah. So we have education related stuff over here on the top, so that they can educate themselves and learn about it, and move on to purchasing the product itself, right? Even on the main page, we have a couple of options where we give them the options, and they can also browse through other options. We have a tasting video so that it kind of helps them associate themselves to the particular product that they're buying and understand how to go about it, right? And we have other information as well in terms of whatever they want to explore around, whatever they need to know, things like that. And then they can just normally take the checkout process and get their product in hand. And as soon as they come back, we have whenever they come back to the app, we will have order review so that they can come and let us know if that's great. And apart from that, again, we have the reward structure, which is again one way of revenue for us, and profile where you can always keep go and update your taste palette.
Yutika, I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to go ahead and stop you right there. Judges, if you have any more questions, you can ask. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, this is really, really thorough, and I like the way that you were pitching it almost as though it's your own company, right? And I mean, I was totally convinced that it is. So that was really good. Then in terms of the research and in terms of even the way, like I went through a prototype, I was just going through it on the side. The way that you have laid out the app and the different parts of it, right, in terms of the information architecture and how do you incorporate the whole learning process about wines along with the buying process, I think it's really, really well put together and very thorough, right? So loved it overall. My only comment would be, and this is just like a thing that came in my mind, which is wine is almost like a very, like there's a different types of alcohols and different types of beverages and things, right? But wine is like a very luxurious type of a thing as well. So in terms of depicting that in the visuals of the app, right, in terms of just the branding and stuff like that, it could be like a lot richer. But what you have is also really, really good. And I mean, almost feel like having some wine now.
I mean, that was pretty much both of our nights. So neither of us, drink, or I would say it's been a really long time since we drank, right? So I think both of us had the whole night to us, thinking, should we probably, get a glass? So, yeah.
Yeah.
Great job, guys. Great presentation. I like the end-to-end, like pitching it like a business. Stage 1, stage 2. By the way, like all of you, when you are like doing this, make sure like you try to like complete what you're doing, like perfect it and not perfect it, as in make it better and put it in your portfolio, because this is obviously an opportunity like to grow your portfolio. Couple of comments. I didn't see the fact like you're serving wine tasters, so I can assume like there are.
Yeah, so the only counter or the only explanation I think I would have right now is that based on the research that we got, even the Indian wine tasters that we have, they're not there with wine testing, as in they're not, if you say American wine tasters, right, the level of education that the ones over here have is a lot less, right? So what we are trying to do essentially is help them educate themselves as well as move ahead with the whole consumer brand, because in India itself the market is so less, like it's a very untouched market altogether. So just concentrating on a consumer base of, say, I don't know, maybe 2 to 3% amongst everybody that drinks, right? We found out that the market for alcohol in India is about 75 to 80%, right? And amongst that we have, say, 2 to 3% who's probably actual wine tasters. So if we are going to make a solution for them, it's really not going to go out there for anybody else. It's not going to help them out at all, right? So the focus, although I understand, considering the prompt statement was wine tasters, we wanted to bring in wine tasters along with anybody else who's probably looking into the profession or just looking into the aspect of wine tasting, because the profession is so new. The first Indian woman that we have in India was in 2017, and that is recently. That's 4 years before this, right? So considering all of this, we felt that I think it's a better approach if we can make a lot more people even understand that there is a profession called wine tasting, because there is an untouched market here, right? So jump on that.
And I want to add.
So which, yeah.
And I wanted to add one more point is that there was one risk in the business, which was the complexity of information. Because let us be more frank, whenever we go out for maybe a date or maybe office meetings, we might want to impress our bosses or anyone else, and we want to know about wine tasting, anything, something like that. But the complexity of information was very high in terms of people getting into wine tasting, and the product might fail when the product in the information was too complex for the user entering the product. So this was something which we got from one research paper, and that is why we made sure that we wanted to educate the user coming in.
Yeah. So
I'm so sorry, but I think this is the time that we can give to your team. Also, I would just like to say that was a beautiful research that you guys went into it, but on a very casual note, if you're underage, do not research too much. Wine tasting is not promoted here. All right, moving on. You guys can exit. That was a beautiful presentation.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Miles, who do we have next? Malika, who do we have next up? Go ahead.
All right. The next thing that we have is urban UX. They here, guys?
Are all the people here?
Yeah.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Hello, guys.
Hi, guys.
So before I would begin, I would like to apologize because I will not be able to turn on my camera because of some technical issues from my side. I hope that's okay.
That's okay. All right, no problem. Just before we start, I'm just going to give a quick run through of how this will go. So please try to stick within the time. 5 minutes of presentation, and then followed by 5 minutes of questions with the judges. So please try to stick within the 5 minutes and go through showing all your presentation in that time. All right, you can go ahead.
Sure.
So please share your screen, and all the best.
Let me know when you guys are ready, so I'll start your timers. And you'll have 5 minutes, so please stick to the time. And judges, just 5 minutes for questioning, that's all. So, Team Urban UX, are you people ready? Just screen share.
Yeah.
Is my screen visible?
Okay, hi.
It's not yet. All right, I'm starting your timers. Good luck.
Thank you. Okay, hi guys. We are Team Urban UX. Our problem statement is to design a web app for shopping to help demons. Now my teammate will present our design.
Okay, so that was quite a weird problem statement. We did not expect that. So as soon as we read about it, our primary aim was to make whatever we designed professional, but as soon as we saw this, our idea completely changed. So before we began the design, we were into researchers. So we just thought, okay, why not do some research based on user personas, but you can't actually get people's idea because these are demons. So we just jotted out our points into user 1, user 2, user 3, and what are their highlights, and what are usually in a website, what do they miss, what are the opportunities and stuff. And we wanted to jot down the features from their perspective. And so after all this was done, we started our designing. So first of all, we started with the brand. So our website name is Goblin Hut. So Goblin Hut aims to provide best-in-class shopping experience for demons, analyzing right from the requirements of the end demon experience. Goblin Hut also aims to provide exclusive experience to the demons. So what are the keywords that's related to Goblin Hut? Okay, it's obviously related to demons. We wanted it to be modern. We wanted it to be visionary. It has to have a touch of evil and darkness with a bit of elegance. And we thought of making it minimal. Okay, so let me explain you how we derived with the logo. The logo is designed keeping in mind the primary ideology, like the demons and the e-commerce. And we wanted the logo to be minimal as well as evil. And as you can see, the accent color, the green that is used is highly associated with goblins. Okay, so to give you a quick brief about goblins. Goblins are notoriously known for stealing extravagantly. Goblins can't resist stealing, so we can assume that they keep all the stolen products with them, and the place where they live can be called as a goblin hut. So we can say that since they steal a lot, like a lot. You can say that there are infinite items with them. So that can depict that our online store, the Goblin Hut, has almost infinite products that is required for the demons. This was our logo, the Goblin Hut, and the tagline is Infinity Understated. So coming to the UX, we did a bit of analysis. Okay, so when you ask someone who are demons, everyone knows what demons are, but you can't really explain to someone who doesn't know what demons are. So we just thought, okay, why not do a bit of research? And we came to know that demons are some supernatural beings typically associated with evil and stuff. Basically everything that's related to evil and superpowers. So their key behaviors are being mean, evil, and intuitive will to cause harm or havoc. And the motivation and goals behind delivering this website can be like to find items that could be used to create mischief, havoc, misfortune, and like whatever that's related to evil. And like we tend to look cool when we achieve something. So the same way the demons think they wanted to look cool doing evil, and every time the demons doesn't have to shop for a reason, so we can also include for leisure shopping. And the unique selling point is provides the best experience for shopping for experience. I mean, the shopping for demons, wide range of products, demon graphic, demon centric, and language preference. Okay, so when we thought of language preference, when we go to Amazon, you can find the region that you are in, so that the languages and the delivery options and the products, changes according to you. So when we were thinking about demons, we didn't want to create some random language names for them. So we did a bit of research on how demons are classified. So we thought, okay, instead of just putting random names for different regions of the demons, we thought, okay, let's classify them based on their religion or region where they're present in. Like, say for example, in Egypt they call the demons as wanderers, and in Turkey they call it Mesopotamia, in Islam they call it Shaitan, and Hindus they call it Asuras and stuff. So we can categorize them like that, and they can have their own language. And for the usability, as I said before, and okay, we also thought of providing some refurbished products, like if a demon can't afford a weapon or something, they could always go for a refurbished products which are less powerful and less dangerous comparatively. And there are some benefits which are like how we have alternate payment methods, like credit system, like that they can pay like in the mode of slaves, like they can give 3 slaves in return of a product, something like that. And we can have a premium membership benefits, like if you have premium membership you can access to some deadly magical powers or something like that. And the design, so we just went through a minimal design. It's a very simple design. First we were just focused on the low-fi designs, and when it came to high fidelity, we just did a quick a few pages. So these are just the home pages, the weapons pages, and the sections, and the upgrading portal. And I mean that's to wrap up our presentation.
Demon right here.
Sorry, sir.
So, good job. Like, I like the branding. You kind of like gave importance to branding. I love branding, by the way. So that's really good.
Thank you.
And I like the way you like positioned, like went through the flow, like branding, and then the way you like classify. But yeah, we should have given a little more importance to the shopping, like at least 1 or 2 like flow. But yeah,
yes, sir. Yes, sir, because unfortunately we didn't have time to concentrate on the designs, because some important academics work like compiled over there. Like,
good job.
We really regret not giving importance to the design.
Good job, Pari.
Yeah, I mean, I like how you internalize the user persona, and especially like the branding stuff that you've come up with, and even the principles, right, in terms of visual principles, like it should be evil and it should give that feeling, and then you channel that into using your colors and shapes. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I just feel like given that they're demons, you could have explored on the interaction pattern within the shopping app a little bit. Let's say demons have like 3 fingers or like some type of nails or something. That maybe like they have 5 hands, right? So then how would they use the shopping interface, so to say, and then you could have played around with that aspect a little bit more. But otherwise, it was really interesting.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's a good point. Like how if I have like nails, how like
I mean, every demons are different, right? It like there can be some demons with no hands, so that really creates a problem.
yeah.
I mean, they can use their tongue to navigate, something like that.
Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was great. So it was very nice to see those human ears. Did you make it yourself? All right.
Wait, you're
I wanted to
muted. You're
put this
muted.
also,
Yeah.
but then
Really great. Well, I hope that inspired you guys as well. Some affirmation from the demon side. All right. Thank you, team. Any other
Thank
questions?
you.
The judges?
No, that's
all right.
no,
Thank you
all
so
good. Yeah.
much, team.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, we
All
have.
right. So the next, yeah, go ahead.
I'm scared to pronounce their name and butcher it. So I think it's Palaiva, I guess.
Palaiva, guys.
Palaiva, placebo.
Please.
Please
It
go
is
ahead and introduce your team names. Palaiva. All right, that was good to know. Both of you, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Just before that, again, just please stick to the timeline. 5 minutes of presentation and 5 minutes, of questioning with the judges. Please try to finish it within the 5 minutes, and then you guys can start. Thank you so much.
Let me know once you're ready to present, and I'll start your timers.
Sure. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah.
All right. If you're ready, I'm going to start your timer. Good luck, both of you.
Yeah, sure.
You have
Thank
the
you.
stage.
Thank you.
So this is a presentation for our project Rough Life. The problem statement that we got generated was to design an iOS app for improving health and fitness to help pet owners. And this is the process that we went through. It was mainly divided into 4 parts: research, ideation, visual design, and prototyping. We also wanted to do some testing, but due to time constraints, we weren't able to. And this led us to our solution, which is an app that helps pet owners. That helps us. An app that helps pet owners improve their physical and mental well-being while spending time with their pets.
So moving on to the research, we did both primary and secondary research. To start with, we conducted a user survey via Google form, for which we got approximately 16 to 18 replies. And on top of that, we did some user interviews and came up with a few actionable insights that we later incorporated into our solution. Then after doing the user interviews, we went on to an empathy mapping, where we kind of try to narrow down the user's problems, understand how they're feeling and how they're currently tackling the issue in hand.
After this, we went on to jot down some ideas and do some brainstorming, and form the user persona of a single dog owner who's not able to find much time to spend with her dog and has some financial constraints that don't allow her to sort of give her dog the best life.
So moving on, then we went on to mind mapping to identify our core problems, and we tried to come up with solutions via brainstorming. And after looking at our research and ideation, we highlighted 4 main problems that we'll be talking about later on. So this was the last step of our ideation, which was solution mapping. In the solution map, we identified the problems and came up with solutions. The problems that we solved were primarily of people not having enough time with their dogs, people not giving enough nutrition to their dogs, not having a community to help foster a more inclusive and safe space for pet owners.
Right, so this is the user flow. I'll go over it when I show the prototype. First off, we have a basic onboarding module which tells the user about our core functionalities. I'll be going over them as we check out the screens and modules. So once you log in, the first screen that you see, so basically our app is divided into three parts. The first part, this is because we wanted to solve three aspects of health for pet owners, which was physical well-being, nutrition, and mental well-being. So this first part, activities, is related to physical well-being. Here we have two things that we help the pet owner with. First is we curate exercises for the pet owner according to their according to pet they have. So here we have put a dog pet here, so we get activities like doga and pet runs. So if you go onto the doga page, you get to know about how to do the exercise, of course. Other than that, we also have certain articles on things you can do with your dogs to form a stronger bond with them and how you can arrange activities. Next is the nutrition aspect, which we wanted. So here, what we wanted to do was we wanted to give certain recipes that would be easier for the that would be good for both the pet and the pet owner, because in our research we found out that a lot of people were willing to make dishes that were sort of beneficial for both the pet and themselves, uh, so that there would be lesser expense as well, and they wouldn't have to sort of depend on packaged foods. So here you get recipes that are pet friendly and that are also good and delicious for the pet owner themselves. So you can select a recipe, and it shows you the nutritions and um, the ingredients and the directions here. You can also save these for later. Mushta, can you take on
Yeah,
the next?
so the next module that we had was a community module because, as we mentioned earlier, we wanted a safe space where people could talk about their problems, know how other people are tackling the same issues as them, and also socializing, because one major aspect of having a pet was also socializing when you take them out for a walk or you meet other pet owners at vets or clinics. So the one thing that we incorporated was having an upcoming event section where they'd have like multiple events going on in a week, and you could go there, check the time, see who all are attending, and kind of RSVP. And apart from that, if you go back to like the main community page, we also have top forums. So these forums, we define them according to broader aspects. And once you get in, you can see what the forum is about and start sub threads on the forum to which other people can reply. You can also check out the number of people who are there, and this is just a feature. And apart from that, one thing, as Arnam also mentioned before, on the top right hand corner of each article or each event, you can kind of save them for later, which from which I move on to like the last module, which is the forum, the favorites. I'm sorry, the favorites module. In the favorites module, as you save articles or recipes for like later, probably you can always come back to them, so that it's easily accessible. Then we also have a small module for like our profiles. As you can see, Arnav has registered 3 of his pets, and he can add on new pets, of course, and he can change like probably stuff and look at the pet's profile. Apart from that, we can also edit our own profile. So if you go to edit profile, you can change your basic stuff like email ID, bio, or password. And then the last thing that we have is the notification section. In the notification section, you can be notified about things like community. People might have replied to your threads, or there might be a new thread, a new event that is starting up. You'll also be notified about the nutrition, and basically all the notifications will be accumulated in this part of the app.
Nishita, I'm so sorry to cut you in, but you're closing in on your time, so please wrap this up in 30 seconds.
So we're done.
that's
So
all.
finally, one more thing we wanted to add was, since we were asked to make an iOS app, we decided that our design system should be based on the human interface guidelines. So we have designed all of the visual aspects based on that. For example, our typography, our design of buttons, and the tab bars and everything is is inspired from the human interface guidelines and the UI kit provided by Apple. That's it.
Awesome. I think you folks are done, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we're done.
This is really amazing. I love this in terms of the take you've sort of taken on like a combined health thing with the old pet owner as well as the pet, right? In terms of the food as well as like the kind of exercises, and it was a lot of fun. Like I saw some of the copy that you had up there, like yoga and stuff, like where it was all like worded like that. So that was pretty good. The visual design, I really liked it. It is one is that in terms of how you have created, it's very like fully baked. I feel like it's almost, it covers all the aspects of the app, right? So you have actually been able to prototype in high fidelity all those 4 tabs that you have at the bottom, and those 4 tabs make a lot of sense to me as well, right? And I really like the part you told about like being able to save certain things and then going and referring back to them, because a lot of the times when you're browsing, the app is not actually going to be when you like sort of come back and use it, right? So really love that as well. One question I had was like about these 3D visuals, like have you used some library, like how do you get these?
So we use like 2 or 3 pre-made libraries, and we masked objects and put them all together to come up with kind of new illustrations in a way.
Got it. Yeah, because I really enjoy doing just 3D on the side, and this is really nice. I feel like nowadays there's a lot of stuff available on Figma community that you can really like easily pick up, but it brings a nice personality to this app. The color scheme and everything also, it's very much fun. And me myself being a pet owner, right? Like a few things that came to my mind, just as additional things could be, one is about, so you've the example that you've taken is actually for dog, right? But then I have 2 cats, and like in terms of the nutrition angle, like just recipes and stuff, cats are very picky. So maybe it can actually learn from like what your cats already eat, and then suggest on basis of that these are the kinds of that they might eat, right? Because every cat is very different and very picky in a very different way. So that could also come in and factor for cats specifically. Thinking is like you have a great community within this app, right? But then a lot of pet owners have Instagram pages of their own pets, right? So what if you can integrate, like where you add your pet's profile, you can also integrate their Instagram profile here. And anytime, let's say you create a streak or something on this app, or you did an exercise or something, you can share that from here and set, like that goes into your pet's Instagram story. So that kind of just increases the net of this app, and like all the other pet owners on Instagram could also see it, start using this app, right? So it'll just bring up like sort of more engagement socially. Yeah. But pretty cool.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, great presentation, and thumbs up on the UI because it's quite neat. Even though you used the library, I think the colors and stuff are well put together. Even in terms of like the information hierarchy, it's pretty, like visual hierarchy, it's pretty good. And yeah, I guess Pari covered like the other community aspect, which is, and I like the thing same as Pari said, like the terms you use, like dog, dog size, doga, all that. It's pretty neat. Yeah, great job, man. Great job, guys. Like, good job.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you
You guys
so
can
much.
stop screen sharing right now. Yeah, that's it. Great. I just want to ask, like, what is Saliva? What is the name? What does the team name stand for? Very curious.
It's very embarrassing.
We
It's
like
sort
to
of like
hear
an
it.
inside joke.
Now we're gonna put you on the spot.
Now that we're
Somehow we
taking
like to know.
presentations, I need a little bit buffer for like I need
Yeah.
some
So
curious
it's a
conversation.
joke. It is basically like a name of Arnav's 2 exes.
Oh, okay. We're gonna avoid that. I'm so sorry, Arnav.
It's fine.
Sorry.
Great job. You guys can leave
job.
now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Right. Judges,
How's
have
it
you been
going?
liking Palette so far?
Yeah.
We'll just take a check-in question in the middle of
Reviews. We'll just take like a 2-minute break, just maybe talk about some things. How's it going?
nothing.
So
Have you guys come across
no,
any
it's great.
interesting
No,
questions?
it's great. So I want to even even this something like this shouldn't be looked at just for like winning. I think it's a great opportunity for people to build up their portfolio, which is very important, especially like young professionals and people who are just getting into the business basically.
Can I just say I love the Demoneers? That was just
Yeah.
amazing. I wasn't on screen. I wasn't on stage to like respond to that. That was great. I think we were all like,
We were laughing. We were having a great time with the
so
Demoneers.
You usually I do stuff like this, but I didn't know the context, so I don't want to like.
Okay, we're glad.
Yeah,
We really
if
enjoyed
someone is
that.
working with me, they know. Like I'm like I
Any
do
more avatars? Maybe
stuff.
like a wizard's hat or something. Do you have anything else? Maybe.
Yeah, a lot of props. Maybe he's keeping all the props on the side.
Yeah.
Have you guys like figured out like a winner yet? Like, do you guys like any presentations that you think are like really dope? We have 6 more teams to go, so it's not.
I don't think we
Yeah.
can say that yet. It's fine.
Okay.
We just want to know like how's it? Okay, we just want to take like a little bit of breather. How's it going? Like, are you guys?
So it's going good. The last one, like I like because I'm a very visual person. I love UI, even though I speak about like things outside UI. But I think UI is a very important aspect, especially when you're using like interface on a screen. The thing is, yeah, I would like to see like more like bizarre stuff, not bizarre as in the out of the blue, you know.
Oh,
Like
Not
problem
things you,
statements have not been bizarre enough. I feel like we've gone out of the box with the problem statements. Like,
yeah, problem statements are brilliant, by the way. I love it. But yeah, but then when they talk wizards, should be like more wizards. That's more
I'll
in
take
that setting.
pointers next
Makes
teams.
I just
Just
wanted
say,
to ask, Barinesh, are you like a Potterhead because you knew quite a lot?
yeah, I was fully
Are
vibing
you
on
a
the wizardry.
Potterhead? I wanted to know. You're
You're
muted.
mute.
Sorry. Muted, please. Unmute. Yeah.
So when I was in school, I would have read all 7 parts of Harry Potter like what 10, 15 times. I used to keep reading it. Like it used to be like my mom used to come in the room and I had like the science textbook and inside it was Harry Potter and I would have been like reading it for the fifth time or something. She's like, why are you reading the same book again? So I mean now it's a little bit rusty, but that was like that one of the first books that I read back when I was a teenager. And it
Good reminiscence. Just brings
So
up
all the
good
bibliophile
memories.
questions, you're personally relating to them. You're taking it like, oh, this is for me. I'm the target audience here.
Yeah.
Yeah, bibliophile and even like I think the last one being pet owner, I was able to
Oh
relate.
yes.
Yes.
I love the
that's
pet owner
true.
thing. It's very.
I think that's why we try to make the problem statements like crazy, trying to bring aliens and demons. It just makes it more fun and try to see how it goes. And like, someone wants it to be even more crazy. Let's hope the next 6 teams there's like a crazy.
Let's move
out
on
of the
with the
box.
final
Yeah.
six teams to go. Let's see if we have a winner. Next up, who do we have?
Puzzle. So the next team that we have is Puzzle. Hi guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Sarvan sir. Hi, Parim ma'am. Hi,
Hello.
coordinates.
Are you people?
Yeah, we are ready. So screen is sharing, I think.
Not
Hello.
yet. Yes, now it's sharing.
Yeah. So as the problem statement of ours was an Android app help finding job for pet owners. So considering this thing, like we have to make app for both pet owners and common people, we researched and the stats say that along of 134 crores people in India, we have 2% pet owners and few of them are alone. So problem statement description what will be, it becomes very difficult for pet owners to find a job as they can't leave the pets alone. Like, for example, some are there with pet, some have maids to take care of them, and some love pets, so they can't leave it. So, considering all the facts, we will be taken this design process, empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. After conducting a secondary research, like we got to know some of these things. Like you already, we read some case studies which already like LinkedIn, like for competitive analysis, we have LinkedIn and Cormo, and this secondary research gave us some points. Like there should be an option for building resumes in the app only. There should be some filter options so a user and recruiter both can connect easily. There should be information to fill rather other documents like CV and all. Continuing, now here comes the primary research. So we like the problem statement was quite easy, because not easy, I will say different, but easy to understand. So people, we can include people, not wizards and demons are there. We can include people. So we talked seniors who already did these placement all things, and we taken us as a part, and those who are pet also, those who have pet also. So we come up with these points. Why, like some company allow pets, some people say that the company allow pets, so we can put a checkbox on that. And why apps not included the option for pets at workplace around jobs. So continuing this thing, these are so many points and a lot of research. One all-nighter for research and one all-nighter for design we did. So these are two apps we have competition with, Cormo and LinkedIn. Cormo is having a great UI but not that much functionalities. LinkedIn is having all the functionality but not that much great UI. So this is the affinity diagram and all the important stuff which we have to include in our design. Means all this stuff you have to take care in mind and proceed. And these are the persona I was talking about. Like he is a pet lover and he is a student and he's a designer. Like I did this from my cousin only. And continuing, so here is the card sorting part. All these things, so it will be easy to have a good design process. And here is the workflow. So I can show you this by my prototype. And so this is the research. So continuing the prototype, my screen is visible, means prototype section. Yeah. So app name is Wager. Continuing, there are some interactions. I really love micro interactions, so I did that. Yeah, let's go here. So sign up page, continuing. So here is the interaction come. If you can't see it, I can play it again. Like, and here is the one more interaction. Like if you want to upload this, I want user to feel very easy to check this out, that whether the CV is uploaded or not. So here is the checkbox button. Yeah, like yeah. So build CV. Let's go and build CV. And like here is also one interaction. Add pic. Here is the pic is added. Now save. And here is the about me. Here is also one interaction. So here the CV gets built. You can add more works and projects and add title, description, link, background, work experience, all these things. Let's move to forward. Scales part, you can add more. And here, yeah, here is the congratulation animation comes, and here the app starts. So as we thought that LinkedIn has now a very massive, like people post many of the things which are not required and required. So here we built a project template. Like you have to post under some characters, limited characters, and you have to post a link of your project and image, not more than that. So it will not become messy. So continuing with another thing, here is the profile. You can update CV and download CV, and here the option will come to remove it. No, so not remove it, to build it if it is already built. We already built that, and here is the logout thing. So let's go on home part, log out it. And oh, yeah, here what I was talking about, that post a project and post a application thing. If you are posting an application, that total application will veer on the recruiter part. And it will be like a user want to just UI, a designer is retired or not okay to take the project. So recruiter can do it by seeing this application. And here can we decide the salary range, not a fixed number we can decide, so we can decide range. And here the post project thing I was talking about, that LinkedIn has two missing thing, and we created a template so anyone can't upload anything they want. They should upload the perfect project only. Okay, so let's go on to the notification page. Here are the vacancies, job vacancies only for specifically for the desired job you want. And here are the requests, like connection requests and all. So I will like to take you to the recruitment part now, like how the recruiter side will be. Oh, sorry, I forgot one thing, that here is the thing. If you want to apply for a job, you can do that. Like just a minute. View. Here the pop-up comes, and you can see everything here in just few clicks. You can apply for job. Now let's see the recruiter part. Recruiter part is here. I will just make it a recruiter homepage. Yeah. So let's play it again. Sorry for the delay. Oh, wait, it's visible.
I'm so sorry to to cut in,
Yes.
but you have only
Yeah,
30
just
seconds
a few
left.
screens. I already did everything. Yeah,
Sure, sure,
for
sure.
sure.
Just 30 seconds. Please wrap it up.
Yeah, so here are the applicants page. You can, like, user wants to see the applicants he has applied for, like he just put it a job vacancy. So here the applicants will be open. You can see here is the Nishita Patnaik's profile, and you can always see this book interview, show profile, and like book interview, it will be booked. And user can also see the interviews page, like who are interviewed and who are not interviewed. It will be very easy to work with. And here are the search post job vacancy option. And one more thing I would like to show you, that if a user wants to filter something, he posted a job vacancy, now he wants to filter, he can click on this button and the job filtration will become, and here show resume, show profile, and all the skills of the, and here he can hire accordingly to the interview or to the application. If he really like the application a lot, he can just hire it without interviewing. So every possibility of using the app, every thing that makes the app messy, we reduced that and made a clean minimal UI. Here are the lo-fis, and yeah, so done. Nishita, I want to say something, add something, or as we have time.
Um,
Like, so we had done 2 days fully, no rest and all. Here are the journey maps, everything.
Because that's how most of the hackathons I see, like people don't sleep.
Yeah, you can see my
Start doing
eyes, they
stuff.
are not, they are very small.
But great job. It's I like the flow, and I love micro interactions, by the way. Uh,
No, me too.
I just want to ask one question. Like, what is your main? Which feature do you think that
That
you think that makes you
the
separate from like LinkedIn? Yeah.
yeah, that a user and a recruiter can get connected with very few clicks. Like, you can see profile
Mhm.
anytime and hire just from a button. Like in LinkedIn, you have to put message, and I too never get a particular internship for that.
Not
And
not really.
yeah,
That is easy apply, right? In LinkedIn, it's kind of similar. Like one click
like
and they
there's
just
option for a post to jobs. Like if you want to go and search in LinkedIn, you have to regularly go and search in LinkedIn whether jobs are available or not. You can specifically just fill the form, post application, and recruiter will go through your application if you have connected with that recruiter. So they can easily see your
yeah,
application. You don't have to go through that means search for
whole
that
process.
every day.
Like, I urgently want a designer, so I can put, I can do that with another feature. Like, it was in my homepage.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah,
a
Mhm.
recruiter have to do the short listing if he has short time, so he can easily go and search for the person and he get hire him.
yep.
Okay. Yeah.
And for pet thing, we
Uh,
had just decided that work from home, or you can do part time, you can do freelance, or you can do a full time job.
mm.
So pet
No,
owners can
yeah,
do
no.
part time and work from.
The reason I asked that question is like LinkedIn can just easily come up with a filter for recruiters saying, "Hey, pets are allowed at workplace," or something like that.
Like here,
So
you
like,
can put, yeah. So you can put a checkbox like, yeah, pet owners are allowed. You can know your work environment. Yeah. If you have pets, like here is the checkbox. If my screen is still visible, is
It's
it?
not yeah, it's not sharing it right now.
No, it's not.
Like,
yeah,
yeah, if you guys can see that, if you have, if you had the link, that in a post or job vacancy, there is an option for pets allowance or not. Like, you can allow pets or not.
got it, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like there could have been two ways to sort of approach this, right? One would have been that you just create sort of a filtered version of LinkedIn where you, if you are already on LinkedIn, you just bring over that information and just you customize it for pets, maybe like an add-on for LinkedIn or just a website that you use along with LinkedIn. But I think the approach that you folks have taken is to create another portal and also like not just optimize for the pet part, but like in terms of the whole application and
whole,
job
yeah,
flow, you've sort of added a bunch of other things as well, right? Where you felt there
yeah,
were gaps in LinkedIn. So I mean, I think yeah, you I mean, uh, good job in like studying the complete and like trying to identify some of the things and addressing those in terms of the quality of the feed and things like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Thank
you
you
guys
guys.
should check out the what is it? Material U for the UI for the
Material,
Android,
yeah,
the new
I
one.
just said that it's available on Figma community now. Yeah.
Okay, beautiful
Thank you.
presentation, Team Puzzle. That was a
Okay.
puzzling
Thank you.
presentation. Great job.
Thank you.
You can exit the stage.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Next up, we have RGB. So are all the members here? Nice. Plethora of colors
That's a
for us to
brilliant name, by the way. It's a
yeah.
brilliant name.
Thank you.
I just
Thank
want
you,
to say.
sir.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Are you people
So
ready?
yeah.
All right. Just
Yeah.
before that, again, just to reiterate the rules, 5 minutes of presentation. Please try to keep all your presentation, research, and your wireframes into that in 5 minutes, and then followed by 5 minutes of discussion and questions by the judges.
You guys can just keep a check in the
Yeah.
private chat. I will be updating that you have 1 minute left, so I don't have to interrupt your presentation every time. So just please take a note of that and
Okay.
wrap it up.
Sure.
Awesome.
Sure.
Your
Yeah.
time is starting now. You have the stage. Good luck, guys.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
So good evening, sir. Good evening, ma'am. We are RGB, and our product name is Job Patal. It's basically a job hunting app for demons, and our problem statement was to design an Android app for finding jobs to help demons. So we thought about like what possibilities could be in here, and we did it through mind mapping. So the first stage of our UX process was mind mapping. So I'll take you there. So this is the mind map that we did. We thought of all the basic things that we could include in the app. We thought of listing, profile, search, inbox, and applied jobs. So the rest of the mind map, like profile, so there is your resume, whether you want to create one or upload one, and then the other basic things in the profile, search and apply jobs, like job name, company name, etc. The daemon part, the crux of the problem statement, was in our listing, in which everything inside the listing was based on the daemon word. What kind of a job would that be? Would it be something like like here you have designer and all, in there you would have torturing, haunting, spreading evil, and something like that. What kind Here you have locations like India, Canada, US. There you would have different worlds, like it would be in heaven, earth, or hell. And then there is the length of job. So the service period, the demon lifespan is quite huge, and it is quite varying for different types of demons. So we didn't keep it in normal terms in like months and years, and we kept it in terms of huge time compounds like millennia, decades, centuries. And so this was the mind map that we had originally done. And then we went and we thought about, we created a user persona for the daemon. Like, what would our daemon that we are supposed to be building this app would look like? So these are some basic details about him, about his profession and his nature, or his what his nature is like. Then some bio, and then some motivation, like why would he want to use the app. So he likes working as a torturer, he wants a source of income, and he hates sinful souls. And what are his pain points? I mean, what problem would he find using the app? And that would be that, since like if we consider a normal scenario, demons are not the ones who created technology, we did. So he might be less tech savvy, and hell is a huge place because it has to incorporate all of the souls that have gone there throughout history. So he might face commute problems, and he, like, since they have a huge lifespan, so he might hate longer working hours, and he might need a solution for that. So we kept all this in mind. In the next part of our research, we thought of all, like, from our mind mapping and from our competitive research, we came up with an information architecture of what all we would like to keep in our app for now. as it is a job searching app, we kept it solely focused on the demon who is searching the job, and came up with this information architecture wherein he would go to the home and there would be various options given to him. He could go to his profile and modify his profile, or he could go to his inbox, or he could go to his applied job list. His He could search for something, and he could see the popular or trending jobs. And we also took up analytics and included it in the app, because we thought it would be a good thing to include in the app, because he might want to see where he is lacking and where he can improve. So this is the UX process till now. And then we went on and we created some low fidelity wireframes. So as you can see, these are the wireframes. I'll be now moving on to the high fidelity model. And so this is the prototype that we have made. So
Okay,
Karthik,
Sakshi, I'll continue from here. So as
yeah.
you guys saw, that was the welcome screen where you can go and sign up and register. And we have an illustration also, which depicts a devil who's working, as you can see. Now for the homepage, we've mentioned all the latest jobs which are in trend during that time when the person was using the app. So this is the list of those. And being a devil, he might not be interested in just taking normal jobs. For then we have taken, like for example, you can see Fairway Industries, it's the head elongator designer. And for other industries, it is the chief explosive officer. So we have created posts like these which might interest the devil, and he might like to take part in these. So for example, where we can see the Fairway engineers, and we can see the analysis of the post as well, like how many people have applied and what all were the reviews of the person. Now, Akshay, yeah,
Yes,
go to search. Yeah, so here this person, the devil can search the required post, and we will also be viewing all the recent searches he's done, and he can also use the filters. Just yeah. So with the filters, he can choose his location, the job type he wants, the service period, and the salary also which he would. And now,
Yeah, I would like to add that in the salary we thought of we researched on what kind of a salary we could keep. So throughout mythology and history that we have researched about, we saw that there was a barter system involved, mostly eyes and all. But Greeks were the only ones who kept came up with a definite source of currency. Like there were drachma coins. If anyone has seen Percy Jackson, you might know what a drachma coin is. So we thought of using that as one uniform source of currency for a daemon. So now, Karthik, please take
yeah,
over.
go to the profile. So here's the profile, and being like in the latest generation, this devil might have some social media accounts as well. So we have given the link for there as well. Now this page includes all about me, where he can describe himself and his preferences, and he can also create his resume here with us, or he can upload a one if he already has. And in the top corner, we have the settings panel as well, where he can change the app settings as per his preference. Okay, so go to yeah. Here he can search this applied jobs, and he can also get the preview, like okay, how many participants are there, and how many applicants are there for the particular job, and what is the response. Like he's applied in one job and one company is in touch with, and other ones he is not selected. So he can get the instant review there and then itself. And yeah, so here when you open one job, so here's the job description of the company and the analytics which show like how many users have applied for this job from varying time to time. And yeah,
Karthik, 30 seconds. Wrap it up, please.
we'll be wrapping up in that. And yeah, so this is the analytics page, and to keep it a little professional, we've given them to analyze their profile, but we've also made it a paid feature as a premium account, so which they can log in with their IDs and pay the following amount and uh, get proper use of our features. So that's basically it. And here also the search messages where you can chat with the respective company and get a response also.
Since this is not a social network, the company would have to contact you first, whoever the recruiter is, and then you can chat with him if he's in touch with you. And so this is a basic inbox chat method. So we kept our navigation floating in this, so to create a consistent feel. So that's about it about Job Patal.
Okay, this is like the thing I love the most was kind of like the copywriting that you folks have done, like starting from the name, job authority, smiling over there, and even some of the other things in terms of skills, like so the way that you describe the roles and the names of the companies and all was very interesting. I'm sure you would have had a lot of fun as you come up with it. Another thing I really liked was the way that you did the mind mapping, because I think that helped you cover sort of the different aspects of like what a demon would think or want when they would look for a job, right? So you did cover things like about the location, the timing of the job, the kind of skills and the roles, etc. So that seemed like a good way to approach this. I would say just like on the visual aspect of it, I was while I was looking at what you folks were presenting, like a thought that I had was like a lot of inspiration could be taken from video games here, because they do a really good job of having sort of UI, just UI where you can see like like I used to play this game called Heroes of Might and Magic, which was basically like a turn-by-turn action fantasy roleplay type of a game, right? So you would create armies, and then those will have like sort of demons itself, right? Like there'll be elves or there'll be something, and then you can actually click on them to see like their level, which comes in terms of like based on their experience. Then maybe some like what is their strength rating, what is their sort of weaponry that they use, and each of it will have their own sort of a score as well as like a icon associated with it. Then there could be like unique skills that someone might have, right? So just like visualizing it almost like video game characters could have sort of helped bring out this aspect of a demon profile visual, like a job profile for a demon. But
Yeah.
otherwise, pretty good.
Yeah, I agree to very like. Uh, by the way, a great presentation. I like the mind map because mainly because you don't really have users, so it's if you don't really have like demons around, you need to like put your thoughts, which is a good way to like put it in. Uh, yeah, I agree. Like I think you could have got inspiration from like gaming or games, you know, because
So I'd like to add one point here. Actually, we tried to improve the UI and basically give it a demon theme, but the thing was, it was affecting the accessibility of the whole app and like causing problems for the UX process. So we decided to go with a lighter theme here.
okay, I mean, not necessarily the UI, like the concept of like weapons used. No,
Yeah.
Okay.
A little
I
bit
don't
of
know,
gamification in
of
it.
slacking people's head or something like experience with something. Yeah, just to add a character.
Awesome.
But good job. Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
sir.
sir.
Anything else? Just gonna.
That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was great. Team RGB did a beautiful job. You guys can exit the stage.
Love the
Thank
demon
you.
profile.
Yeah,
Yeah.
full Lucifer
All right.
vibes.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, guys. All
Uh,
right. So the next team that we have has a very interesting name, Squid and Octo. So are you like a duo? Hey Squid, who's Octo? They're like duo.
Hi, I'm Octo, and I'm Lydia.
Hi. Hi guys. Could you please turn on your cameras?
I think, wait. Can you guys see me? I don't really know what's.
Oh,
it's just a yellow background.
Yeah.
Are you guys comfortable with your cameras on? Is that the problem?
No, I am comfortable, but I don't know how to turn it on.
I think on the bottom
Okay,
of
so
the
in the
screen.
bottom there should be a couple of options: mute, stop cam, and share.
oh, there's
So
a
I
yeah.
on the yeah.
There's a settings thing if you have multiple cameras.
I think it's an OBS problem.
How to turn on?
If if your team is comfortable without a camera, if you're comfortable
Yeah.
with pitching without it, that's also fine. Whatever works best for your team. We're okay with.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you
that's
very much.
okay.
Then I guess we can just start that.
Yeah, please continue. Let me know once you're ready to begin. I'll start your timer. Again,
Alright. Yeah.
Malvika, would you just tell them? Yep, the
All
rules.
right. So just a couple of rules. So you have 5 minutes to pitch. So please try to keep your whole presentation within the 5 minutes with your product design as well. And following that, we'll have like 5 minutes of questions and questions from the judges, and that will
Okay.
be how it goes. And when
Please
you're
keep a
ready,
look
we can.
out in the private chat. We'll be notifying the time that you have 1 minute left, and please wrap it up within that. Or else you'll have to come and interrupt your flow, which would just not be great. Awesome. So I'm gonna start
All
your
guys.
timer. You have the floor. Good luck, guys.
Okay, so how can we share the screen? Like we have to
I'm
share.
going to share my screen.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Can you see it?
Yeah, we can see your screen. All right. Good luck, guys.
Okay. You can start now.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. This is Team Squid and Auto, and the name of our project is Iruzo. This is our prompt. We're making an Android Auto or Apple CarPlay app for video streaming to help senior citizens. Before deciding which features to implement, we need to first understand the needs and concerns of our target audience, which is senior citizens. To do so, we conducted extensive research. For primary research, we conducted 3 user interviews with our grandparents to gain insights into the desires, needs, and concerns of senior people. As for secondary research, we used statistics from scientific journals to back up our decisions regarding accessibility and needs. To conclude our interview findings, all interviewees expressed that they cannot find videos that interest them on many video streaming services, and they also find difficulty understanding certain features of the app. Moving on to our secondary research, according to a research published in 2019, which interviews 31 seniors in attempts to identify the technological barriers that prevent seniors from using technology, our research shows that senior citizens prefer simpler instructions, fewer buttons, larger fonts, and speech-activated tools. If these tools are present, they'll be more willing to use the technology since they won't feel frustrated. The study also revealed that the biggest barrier that senior people face when using technology is accessibility, especially in the audio and visual aspect. Because of this, many senior citizens find it very hard to use technology, and our app aims to break through this barrier. Another research also shows us that loneliness and social isolation is a prevalent issue among senior citizens. Nearly 1/4 of adults aged 65 or older are considered to be socially isolated. They need entertainment, and they need to feel connected to a society, including their peers or even younger generations. Therefore, we've come up with 2 aims. Firstly, to help them know what's trending among their own age group, and secondly, help them know what's trending for younger generations and other people in society, which ultimately help them feel less left out and lonely. Here are the features we've come up with. And our we have identified 3 key desires. Firstly, relevant videos. Secondly, high accessibility. And thirdly, sense of community. The following are features we've come up with. First of all, trending charts for seniors. Secondly, specialized filters. Thirdly, visual and audio control. And fourthly, AI chatbot. Now let me pass the time to Melissa. She'll explain to you our major designs.
After finalizing our features and research, we moved on to designing the interface or application. We first made some low to mid fidelity wireframes for our main features. Here's a summary of our design decisions. For choosing the font sizes, we made several drafts, and we decided on this final layout because it could provide more customization, while the other design only provided a set of fixed values. For placing the AI chat box, we debated between placing it as an additional icon on the bottom bar along other buttons and placing it as a standout button. We decided on a design on the left since seniors are often frustrated about technical issues and it could be more accessible. We also set up a user flow. Finally, to achieve a unified design, we set up a design system. We chose black and white colors because they provide a high contrast and increases visibility. Blue is our accent color, and we chose a sans serif font because it is highly geometrical and can provide less distractions for our target audience. Now let us go through our prototype. Now I will talk about our design in detail. Our background color is white, and we avoid being too wordy. We also have a very simple design. As said before, we have a very detailed walkthrough for users, and we prioritize audio navigation to help senior citizens. There is a no fax button here for them to disable the audio navigation. Next, the users are setting up an account to save their information. Here we have a large range of font sizes for them to choose, and they can also adjust the volume until they are comfortable. Because we have different seniors have different interests, and we want to customize our recommendations for them to have the best user experience, so they can choose which categories they're interested in. For example, music and documentary, and then we would generate some recommendations. What makes us special is that our filter are catered towards senior citizens. There are many video streaming applications, but they focus on the general audience while we cater towards the senior citizens. And after we select a category, the recommendations listed are sorted in chronological order from the oldest to the newest, because our research shows us that senior citizens like to watch older videos. And here we have a trending chart for seniors as well as other charts. This trending chart for seniors is to provide them with a sense of community. Next is the settings page for them to change their font sizes, volume, and preferences. And finally, our AI chatbot. Because senior citizens report that speech input is easier than typing text, so we have a microphone here for them to ask questions. And after they ask the question, our AI chatbot will provide detailed instructions as well as an image that teaches them how to use our app, since our research also shows that senior citizens can absorb visual information better than textual information. So this is the end of our prototype. And let us now go back to our presentation.
Yes, I'd like to talk about our future implementations. Future car designers are more likely to be autopilot. That means that old people can watch videos when they're driving or even as a passenger. So we've come up with a special idea that doesn't exist in current apps. Apart from showing the road that they're driving across at the moment, a side video from our app will show how the road looks like years ago, like maybe 10, 20, 30 years of their own choice. We figured that's something special and attractive feature for old people because they like to reflect the past and remember how places used to look like. Since we're both high school seniors, it's our first time using Figma as well as participating in this competition of this kind. We both really enjoyed the experience, and thank you very much for watching our presentation. It means a lot to us. And this is the end. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Do you have any questions?
This is pretty cool. I really like the way that you folks thought about senior citizens and like manifested that into the UI. And it's pretty great that since you're using these tools for the first time, that you were able to complete the whole process and keep up the sort of enthusiasm. And I hope you go on and keep designing more and more. What I sort of liked was that you were very mindful of the iconography, the sizes, as well as keeping it very simple, like throughout all of your screens. Right? I like the voice feature as well, and the idea about being able to see into the past while you're driving, that was also very cool. I really like that one. What I would say as a possible comment would be, this could almost be voice first, because while you're driving or like while you're in a car, or even because you're a senior citizen, it's just always much easier if it's just voice first. Like I don't even have to interface with it. I can choose to interface with it only in situations where either, let's say, there's a situation where I cannot use my voice for some reason. So the text.
I'm sorry, could you just repeat that a little louder? I don't think they caught that. I think the mic cut off for the last, I think, 10 seconds.
Okay.
Could you just repeat what you said? That's all.
Am I audible now?
Lydia, are we audible now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
Okay. So what I was saying at the end was that this could almost be, it should be voice first, and text or like the normal manual navigation could almost be the backup, right? So in situations where you, for some reason, let's say, cannot use your voice, it's only when you really need to interface with it. Otherwise, it could be really voice-led, is what I felt. Another thing was possibly Like there are platforms like Movie. I don't know if you've heard about it, where it's more like you don't really have to search, but every week they curate a movie for you, and you just watch that, right? So similarly, I mean here also, maybe the whole exploration part could be reduced, and that navigation could be reduced, and it could be more like just a generic set of things that from their time, right? Senior citizens would watch, right? They tell that to the app just once, and then the app itself every time gives them something to watch, rather than them having to sort of search for or find what they should watch. But yeah, really good job. Thanks for sharing, presenting.
Yeah, good job, guys. I can't believe you're high school seniors. Brilliant job. And especially like your presentation was quite like it was neat. The aesthetics and the research, like super focused, clean. I love that. And and the fact that yeah, things like accessibility, huge fonts and huge buttons. Uh, but yeah, I agree. Voice first, and obviously, I like the fact you also considered like in the future, like obviously, cars are going to just drive by itself. I think it does already to some extent. Uh,
Yes,
yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
great job, great job.
Thank you.
Also, I just want to
Thank you.
mention that as high schoolers and trying Figma for the first time, coming to round three, I think that was a splendid job. The amount of research and great work as high schoolers and as participants in Palette. I'm
Our
very glad
future
to have you here.
innovators, our
Yeah,
future
future.
innovators, right here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. You guys can
All
exit the
right. Thank you,
stage.
guys.
Thank you.
Good luck. All right. So our next team is This is Chandan. Hello. Hi,
Pretty
Chandan.
self-explanatory.
Am I audible?
Yep.
Great team. Hello,
Where can
Chandan.
I
Are we
present my
audible to you?
screen? Yes.
I don't think I can hear him. Can you hear him?
No, the volume is quite low.
Can you hear me now?
Chandan, I think we're having trouble hearing you properly. If you could attach a better audio, like s- check if you can be a little clearer.
Just a second.
I'm audible, right? Because I just swapped my mic. So
Oh
Yep.
yeah,
You're
yes,
audible.
yes, yeah, crystal clear.
All audible.
Is it better now? I'm using a different earphones.
Yes. Now
Yeah.
we can.
Can you please turn on your camera?
It's not working for some reason. It says some privacy issues or something.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
If
That's
that's not a
okay.
problem for you, then you can go ahead with your pitch.
Yeah, okay. Where can I present my screen?
There should be an
Um,
option on your bottom saying share plus share on your
I can't
bottom
see it. I
screen.
see mic, cam, and start and leave.
there should okay. Maybe just go to the bottom. There should be a slide. A couple of icons with mute, stop cam, and share. So if you can click on share, it should share your screen. Just check. Maybe hover around the bottom screen. Try to find that.
I can see the bar, but there is no share button.
All right. Just give us a second.
it could be which browser are you using?
I'm using Safari.
All right.
Hmm.
Just give us a second. Chandan, could you try to open Chrome and access this again?
Yes, I'll try and use a different browser. Just a second.
Yes, please. Just try Chrome. All right.
Yes.
How many do we have more?
We have around two more, I think. Yep.
More?
Just yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have this is Chandan and Neeru Yadav, one more person. So two teams left, this plus one. We actually had a 13-year-old participant. Oh, okay, all right, Chandan's here. All right.
I joined from Safari again. Chrome is not allowing me to join, so still no share button.
No share
Okay,
button.
Chandan, why don't you exit and we'll take the other participant? You can talk to the team, a waiting
Yeah,
team,
sure.
and
Okay.
I think they'll help you out. And meanwhile, we'll take the other participant. Is Neeru one man army here? One
Hello,
woman
Neeru.
army. Okay, just
Hi.
yeah. Is our internet glitching? I think she's glitching for me.
Neeru, are we audible?
Yes, yes, you are
Hello.
audible.
All right, all
Hello.
right.
Oh yeah,
Hello.
yeah. Yes, you're audible.
Yeah,
Can you
yeah,
share
very.
your screen? Like, is it working for you?
Yes, yes. Actually, I can't see you all. The video is not visible to me. I'm sharing my screen right away, but
That's great. As long as you're audible to
yeah,
us
yeah,
and you are
screen is
able to
visible.
pitch, it's awesome for us.
Okay.
So again, Malvika, just tell her the rules and we'll
All
begin.
right, Neeru, so just you'll have 5 minutes to present your research as well as your wireframes and your final product. And after 5 minutes, you'll be having another 5 minute session with questions from the judges and a couple of discussions. All right, so try to keep your presentation within 5 minutes. All right. And when you're ready, you can share your screen and you can start. Was I audible, Neeru?
I think she was one of our participants who has a really bad internet connection,
Yeah.
but I think she's gonna struggle a little bit with that. We're down to our last two teams with little technical issues.
Yep.
But that's all.
Yeah, it's been fairly smooth till now. I'm surprised how smoothly we went.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. This goes smoothly. Last two teams go
Yeah.
smoothly as well.
All right. Let's just try Neeru, if you can try reconnecting, if you can hear me, please try to leave the meeting and join again, Neeru.
Yeah, and she can keep her video off if that improves
Yeah.
the situation.
Texted.
Yeah, she's got the message.
Meanwhile,
oh yes,
let's
in the
converse.
meantime, yeah. So I think we forgot to tell you, we had a 13-year-old participant taking part in this, and it was just, they were very excited. They got it pretty interesting. I'm not sure which problem
Yeah.
statement it was, but while we were taking reviews yesterday, a 13-year-old came, so it was very, very exciting to see. And we thought of, just
And they were
maybe.
very confident as well. Like they were very, it was like, the answers were like, why did you pick this color palette? And the answers were like, because it
Yeah.
spoke to me. My heart said so. it went for the good. Just absolutely confident kids these days.
I mean, they have.
13-year-olds these days are pretty deadly. Like I have cousins who give me complex because they know like so much. Like
True.
they'll know coding as well as they'll know development, they'll know design, they'll know 3D, everything they'll do.
That's so.
Hi, Neeru.
Alright, Neeru, just a suggestion. If you want, you can turn on your camera, so that might be taking a
Actually,
lot
my
of
connect.
data. Turn off your camera.
Hello.
Hello?
Hi.
Are we
Yeah, try
audible
to.
to you?
Yes.
Yes. Oh my, her work is so beautiful. If she's not able to
Yeah.
pitch it because of
She's
her
been
internet,
having
that would be
she's been
heartbreaking.
having issues since yesterday as well. Oh no. Neeru, can you try saying something? I hope you're audible, Neeru. If you can, just maybe type something in the comment section. if you're able to hear us or not. Hope you are. Should we drop her a text? Oh, okay, you have dropped her a text on the chat.
I think we'll wait. Wait just a little bit. If Chandan is ready, I think we'll take him up.
Yeah.
All
Uh,
right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So what happened to the 13-year-old?
my
Like, why didn't she?
screen is visible. Hello.
Well,
No. Yeah, I
nope.
can hear you though. Not yet.
Yeah, we can hear you.
His
Yeah.
screen is now
If you
visible.
want, we can follow you on Figma as well in case your screen share is not working.
Yeah, if you wish, one of us could screen share on
Hello.
Figma, and you can lead the presentation.
I think
Oh,
it's
we just
because.
follow you on Figma,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, Neeru, if you'd like to do that, I think that might be an okay option. Maybe if you can go to the Figma file and the judges
Hello.
can maybe follow you there. Hello.
Hi. Yeah. So I am on a Figma file.
Rashita, maybe just drop her a text on to point to the Figma file, right? Just on the chat box. We'll just drop her a text for the Figma file. Uh-oh. Alright, we'll try once again. If not, like, I hope Chandan's ready. We'll check that out as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, I'm checking in on that, I think. I'm just gonna go ahead and ask you guys what your thoughts are so far while everybody works out in the back
Yeah,
end
we just
the
would like to know.
problems. So this show must go on, and we'll keep it continuing.
It's good. I think a lot of great designers. I don't have context if most of them. How is the demographic? Are they students mostly or?
So most of them are college students, first year, second year, third year, around that age. There were a couple of entries of those who had graduated college as well, and there was, I mean, the youngest was 13 years old, but
13 years old.
as yeah, really
The
sweet. And
demographic is just first year college kids, first and second year
yeah,
college kids, college students,
Okay.
and
and the
mostly.
youngest of the final, I mean, the ones who have come to present in front of you were the 12th graders. I think they were the
Hmm.
youngest ones. Yeah,
Yeah, they were good
they were.
actually. Yeah.
We picked the best for you to judge.
I like their names, Squid and Octo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you're adorable.
Hello. Hello. Am I audible right now?
You're audible. You're
Yes.
Yeah,
finally
you
audible,
are.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello, are
Yeah,
Yeah.
we audible
hello.
to
I'm
you?
okay. I'm keeping my video off because constable function, but I'm sharing my screen right now.
Yeah, please keep it off.
If you're not
Yeah.
able to share your screen, don't worry.
Yes,
The
yes,
judges will
audible
just
to
follow
me.
you on Figma,
Yeah.
and you can continue your pitch. If you want, one of the judges can screen share it, and you.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, we'll just follow you on Figma. You can possibly just start explaining. I think you've arranged it pretty well, so we'll just keep scrolling down along with you.
Yeah. So yeah. So just tell which page you're on, and then go ahead. Like can see problem statement, process overview, secondary research, user persona.
I will start with the first page that is problem. Yeah. I will start. I will start with the first problem statement.
Uh, can you guys hear her or?
Yeah, I mean, I can hear you. Can't hear Neeru.
I can't hear anyone.
I can hear you, someone. I think
Yeah, I think Niru dropped off.
Is she following on the Figma file? Is she moving ahead? Because I can't.
No.
I can't see the Figma file actually.
So problem statement.
Niru, just one question. Would you be more comfortable on a different platform so we can finish up with another participant
Yeah.
and we can just
Yeah.
Google Meet is better for you, right?
Yeah.
I think the last.
Uh, Zoom will work fine. Actually, Google Meet, my browser is not allowing me to share my screen. Uh, Zoom will work absolutely fine with me.
All right. I think we'll work something out later on. You can like leave the stage like back in for
Okay.
now,
Okay. Thank you. Thank
and we'll work something out for you in a bit. We're taking a lot of time up for this right now.
you. Okay.
Thank you.
Awesome.
See you soon.
Is Chandan here? We'll just take up the last participant, and then we'll talk about Neeru Yadav. Okay,
All
Chandan
right,
will
you
be
can join
joining
me.
soon. I think we had to face some issue, and this is
Yeah,
like
it was
at the
going
very
too
end.
well, but it's okay.
It was going on too good for us to. We were on a roll.
Um,
Something had to
Also,
happen.
we might be using Zoom, so we'll be providing you a link where you can take join the Zoom, and then we'll take the review for Niru. We'll just create the link and we'll be providing it to you soon. So until Chandan comes, like maybe we'll take a little bit of a break so that you can just just yeah.
Yeah. If you need a break, this is the universe throwing it at us. It's time to take a break.
How's it going? Like everyone's safe, like everyone's staying safe, both of you at home. I mean, how's it been like working from home or just staying at home during COVID like this time? How's it been? It's been hard. It's probably a bad question to ask, but how's it going, both of you?
It's been like for us over here in Dubai, it's fine. It's not people go out, offices are
Okay.
open, but like our company, it's shut. Our offices are
Okay.
closed. So I work from home. It's been okay. And
Is that more
1
fun?
year I've
Like
been
as
sitting
a
in this chair in
is
this
it fun
place.
to like work from home or like you
Not
prefer
really.
that?
No, I miss people. I miss
Oh,
people around. It's difficult.
I
Not
hope
Speaking
that
of
this
easy.
is a
people,
good people
Chandan is here.
Exactly. Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Hey
So
Chandan,
that's
can you say something?
Yeah, hi guys. Can you hear me?
Hello,
Yes.
yeah.
yes.
Don't need to turn on your camera, Chandan. You can just share your screen and
Yeah, sure.
you'll have 5 minutes to present and
Yeah, okay.
followed by 5 minutes of questioning by the judges and some discussions. So when you're ready, share your screen and please try to keep it within 5 minutes. And
Yes,
when
okay.
you're ready, you can start. All right.
Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Not yet. Yes.
All right. Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, I'm
Okay.
going to start your timer. The floor is yours. Good luck, Chandan.
Yes. Okay. So let me tell you all about a bit about myself. My name is Chandan. I'm a UX designer. I was previously a game designer before this. I just got accepted into IIT Guwahati just a couple days ago to do bachelor's in design. My problem statement was to design a web app for video streaming to help wine tasters. So I quickly started researching what wine tasting is and how it works. Wine tasting is essentially just an evaluation of wine. It can also be a fun event for socializing, or it can also help to go deeply technical and learn about the wine and its background. So, virtual wine tasting. My first thought was, is this even possible? Then I found out that coronavirus has beat me to it and already made this an actual thing. So, how does virtual wine tasting work? In person wine tasting works because you will be provided with samples that you can taste and a person to guide you through it. This works in a similar way that the wineries deliver wine bottles to your door and you can attend a video conference with the person from the winery to guide you through it. There are currently no apps or websites built for this specific purpose, and as a result, wineries are having to rely on their own websites to plan and sell the experiences. Also, they use video conferencing apps such as Zoom or Google Meet for the video conferencing. Now I started to search for areas I can help make better. First thing I found out was that the wineries were using their own website, so it was very unorganized. The next thing I wanted to do was provide a single platform for selling and organizing the experiences, like combining the websites and the Zoom. I wanted to take advantage of this whole virtual thing and also add some new features. One of that features was to give them all a list of all the wines they would be trying out that day, along with their details. I also gave them the ability to rate several aspects of the wine and also view what other participants rated. One thing I noticed during my research was that since wine tasting can get pretty technical, there were wine journals available on Amazon which you can write down the name of the wine you tasted and its properties. They had thousands of reviews, so they seemed pretty popular to me. Similar to this, I added a feature where a person could rate the wine and it automatically adds it to a section called Journal in the dashboard so that they can visit it later. All of these features together combine to make up Virtue Wine. This covers all aspects of wine tasting from finding and purchasing the experiences to keeping track of your tastes. We also have feature to organize or join private events that are unlisted so that wineries can have VIP events. Let me take you through the website now. This is the home page. I wanted to keep a luxurious look because wine is pretty exquisite. So on the home page, you have a list of upcoming experiences that you signed up for. If you scroll down, you can see some of the experiences that are available for purchase. Here you can see the wine bottles, what their name is, the description, and how much time it takes for the experience. You can click here to view the openings where you can book a slot. If we come down, we can see a place to host private experiences or public experiences. They can click here to contact us and we can help them organize it. So let's say we want to order something. Let's click here. It takes you to a dedicated product page where you can see all the details and a larger picture of the bottles. You can select a time slot that's convenient for you here and you can reserve the spot. It takes you to the checkout page where you can enter your details and check out. Once you checked out, it is automatically added into your dashboard. And on the top, you can see ongoing experiences, which means the experiences that are currently going on. And on the bottom, this is the journal we talked about. You can see the ratings you put in when you tasted it and some notes you added. So this is pretty important because people are buying physical hard copies of this stuff on Amazon for tens of dollars. On the bottom, we have upcoming experiences which you signed up for. And if you scroll down more, you can see the past experiences, the wines you previously tasted. You can see their recordings or order again. Let's get to the juicy part. Let's say we want to join an experience. This takes you to the video conferencing page where you can see the other participants and also the host. So on first glance, this looks pretty much like any other video conferencing website, but I added a couple of unique features for this to help wine tasters. One of the most prominent ones is you can see what wine you're currently tasting on the bottom here. It shows you a picture and also the name of the wine you're tasting. You can also see all the list of the wines you're going to be tasting that day when you click here. It takes you to the list here, and here you can see what you rated it. So this is already tasted by you a couple minutes ago. You already rated it, and this is the ratings you gave. You can click here to see what others rated. So this is what the other people like. This helps you to start a conversation or communicate with them better. And this is the journal where you can rate it or add a description. So that pretty much makes up the whole website. I'm open for any questions you might have.
Hi, it was great. It was good. I like.
Thank you.
I like how specifically you've actually just taken a general like video conferencing concept and just tailor it to wine tasters. This is great.
Yes, I actually found out that in my research that there are some apps to specifically keep track of what you tasted in the past, and just like this, without the video conferencing app, there are some apps just like this.
Because
So I wanted to
not just
combine it
like
Please
not
go
just wine, like even like you have different kind of sushi, for example. Like if you don't know what everything is, instead of buying the whole lot, like I would want to like just taste. So I like the whole experience of
Thank you.
different sets. This is what you're gonna eat now, and the person explains it. That's very nice.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty cool. In fact, I really love the way that you approached it in a real world scenario, right? In terms of buying a wine and then tasting it along with the host. It was pretty nicely thought out and done. I also like in terms of your font selection and just the way that you've used colors and stuff like that to, craft your UI. It keeps while keeping the focus on the actual wine bottles, but then being very like luxuriant and like very elegant in terms of how it is very minimal. So I like that as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, good job, great job. So,
Okay. Any more questions for Chandan? Hello.
no, I'm done. No.
Done. Right.
All
All
right.
right,
Thank you,
Chandan.
Chandan.
Thank you, Chandra.
So I think we're just left with one team, and we'll figure that out. There's a Zoom Meet link there.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
wait.
So should we exit out of this StreamYard studio?
Just maybe
I
we'll.
think so.
How would you like to do? Would you like to like take the review there or like continue it here? Just maybe how do you like to do?
You guys can take the review there later, and we'll just wrap this up here first.
We'll wrap it up here and then
Yeah,
we'll go
since
there. Is that okay?
we've been here for like more than 3 hours now, so let's wrap it up here. You guys can take the review later on, like just after this with Neeru.
All right. So thank you. It's been around 3 hours, 23 minutes. I think we can see the timer. Thank you all for staying here. Thank you all for being here. We are really happy that you guys made Palette. We are here to organize it, but the people that come here, the judges, the participants, you guys make Palette as successful as it is. And we had so much of fun seeing all your entries. And we try to give you interesting problem statements with very different users like wizards, aliens, dating apps for that, and superheroes and stuff. So we try to give you something interesting, and you guys came up with amazing designs, beautiful, beautiful research and thought processes. We like the way you incorporated it. I think the judges enjoyed it, and we really appreciate you coming here and spending time with
A
us and
huge,
giving
a
us this
huge thanks to the judges, because
Thank you so
I
much.
mean we can see you guys like you like everyone, like 3 years, so tiring. It's so exhausting to look at all of their pitches and judge it and quantify it and point out their problems. It's a lot of work. We get it, and you were so interactive. We wanted to like give you guys like, okay, let's just talk to them if they're okay. We're having fun, so that was awesome. You guys are doing a great
And
job.
thank you for keeping the energy up. Like I know even the last participant that comes, being so patient with them and listening to their points and trying to take that even towards the end. Thank you so much for that. We really, really appreciate it. And we're so thankful that you joined us here and gave us all your tips. Even we are listening to it. Designers in our chapter, we were listening to what you have advice that you guys were giving. And we really, really appreciate it. So thank you so much.
So this is our ending note. We want to thank the audience for sticking through, the judges for sticking through, and the results will be up soon. Like by yours truly, the judges will be listing them out soon. So stick out for the closing ceremony and the winners. Look out for the posts. And that's it, guys. This is a wrap on the stream here. Everybody.
Judges, would you like to say anything? Would you like to say something?
Yeah.
The floor is yours.
Yeah, Salman, go for it.
It was been a pleasure. It was actually fun. I like how everyone's thought process is working, and you guys are the future of our innovation. So it's these events like Palette is very important because in our mainstream education we don't really like get to experience all of the real life situation. So even though we use aliens and you know demons, we still like it's a good exercise to like practice what we're doing. So which is yeah. So thank you guys. Thank you for having me also. It's been a
Thank you so
pleasure.
much. Would you like to say something, Parnish? I think you're muted.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of fun. I was looking forward to this because of the nature of the problem statements and how unique they were. So, as a judge, it was really good that all the problem statements were different, right? So, there was something new to see every single time. And then, what I really enjoyed was like how everyone sort of took that challenge and then tried to assimilate it, right? Even though sometimes it was very non-conventional or like kind of like out of the box. So that was really good to see. And like it was just also really good to be on the other side of things because I know Salman is probably spent a lot of time like managing designers and managing people. But for someone but like me, like I'm sort of always been in the sort of heart of like doing things myself. So being able to take a step back and like seeing other designers with their approach, like really young designers, their approach, and seeing like how much talent and enthusiasm people have, it's really been an amazing like sort of 3.5, 4 hours.
We're glad. Thank you so much. Can we have one more time, maybe with the demon ears? We just want to. We can sign off with that, please.
Closing off,
I
like
think.
signing off on the demon ears.
Yes.
Or a wizard hat.
Yes.
Take a snap. Take a snap. Take a snap.
Take a snap.
I'm just gonna take a snap of that. Beautiful. Yep. Done. Okay. That was awesome. Thank you guys for sticking out, and we're gonna sign off here. Adios, people.
Thank you.